Good evening. I wanted to say afternoon because it was afternoon in my head, but good evening, everybody. Welcome to the final table of our 100K multi-day event here at the PokerAtlas Tour. We have the 8 players, the remaining 8 players from this tournament. It's been an exciting one. We had almost a little over 1,400 entries for this event.
It
We
was a
got,
crazy
yeah,
weekend.
busy, busy, busy. Some familiar faces, some new faces. Let's take a look at what they're playing for real quick. That place had already been eliminated for 34-20. Eighth place here will get at least 41-30 and 34,000 up top near $50 for what was called 34. That's not a bad payday for a $200 buy-in tournament. I don't know about you, Shanice.
I would definitely not be upset being at this final table right now. Lot to play for up top for not a lot invested. $200 in a couple days worth of time.
As always, DT and Shanice here at the booth. We're going to bring y'all the action tracking tonight.
It's gonna be a little bit weird later because I did actually deal this table, so it's gonna be a lot of me. Sorry about that.
Basal with kings, what a welcome sight when you're at a final table with tons of money up top. The blinds are 100, 200, 200. So several of the players are a little short, but we have some reasonably deep stacks for this stage of the tournament. I mean, there are a lot of chips to play.
Yeah, absolutely. They still have some play here
Basal,
for quite a while.
so making a raise, choosing a sizing that shows I will not be folding this hand, which is kind of peculiar to do this from such an early position. Any raise is going to look pretty strong regardless. Really what you want to discourage is the blinds coming along for such a good price. But he gets it done. See, we have Ice Queen with 10.18 million chips, Kevin with 10.13 million chips. That's a lot. That's a lot. I think there's, what is that, 40 something in play? Karia, or Axis Korea, familiar face from the local scene here with 1.25 million, 6 big blinds. Basal picking up a little bit there, going to 2.23. Sean with 3-ish. Zachary with 3.7. Daddy with 5.28. Another local Walter with 5.75. Some of these guys don't play a lot of tournaments, but decided to jump in this one for, the value.
Yeah, I mean, over the past couple days, I think I've seen just about every poker player I know in Houston at least stopping by one of the days. Again, the value was just too good, so we had a jam-packed room all weekend, every table full.
Ice Queen opening up the King Jack offsuit. Gonna put as much pressure as she can possibly put on, I imagine. 9-8 suited from the big blind for almost a min raise is going to be a defend.
Snap defend.
8 in the window. No pair, nowhere for Ice Queen. That's still going to be a board. She's just going to have way more queens. Does just immediately check it back. 2 pair now for Daddy. Gut shot for Ice Queen. I would imagine he would just check this over and let Ice Queen start betting as a bluff. Jack 10 most of the time, I imagine, would c-bet small at some point. All the gut shots, all the straight possibilities. So if she's just stuck with ace high or anything like that, you want her to bet it. Obviously, if she picks up hearts, she would reasonably bet that. Just a gut shot. Does block both flush draws. Gonna continue. Blocking both flush draws may decide to rep either of them when they come in. It's a great card. It brings in the straight, the 4-card straight, and the flush.
I was just thinking that the big blind defends almost all of their tens, so she may have put him on a naked 10 high hand that's open-ended that she's still ahead of.
There's not a lot of 10x's that aren't already pairs that he would defend with.
That is true.
I like going for a bluff here. I do think we would have to go very big. Looks like she's cut out almost a milli, 9, yeah, 850. I would like to see a much larger sizing, specifically because I think Daddy's gonna have a lot of hands like this, 9-8 suited, 7-9, and you're really trying to get him to fold a hand as strong as a straight, which I don't think would fold, but for this price, the straight's never folding. She does get the bluff through. It's a good bluff.
Nice, great takedown.
Well played. I would have liked to have seen Daddy play the turn a little bit differently.
Look for a check raise, maybe.
Look for a check raise because you really set yourself up for some disaster in making her range much narrower there. But it's okay to go ahead and start betting for value, especially if she were to have a hand like Ace 9, a hand that could very easily check back King 9 suited, Ace 9 suited. Both those hands would check back. Interesting also to have the two chip leaders next to each other at the final table.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, you know, considering how high the blind's already on, we do have some players with a lot of play, but things could change very quickly.
It'll make the blind versus blind action much more exciting versus the two of them.
Yes, definitely. Look forward to that.
Walter is a super nit. Oh, I don't know, Owen. You can't be calling someone so close to you out like that.
Played with Walter a little bit. I don't know if I would use that word to describe him, but
Walter getting a raise and take.
you gotta show him how it's done, young man. Then I see a lot of that. There's a few father-son duos that play in the poker room, and it is always hilarious to watch the younger coach the older.
Oh, one of my favorite father-son duos in our room that's regular is Nader and Jamshid.
Yes.
Jamshid is maybe in his late 80s, and he talks the most amount of shit I've ever seen someone talk to their son at a poker table.
I mean, honestly, it may be deserved.
It's a great dynamic.
They are pretty
Obviously,
funny.
Owen, your dynamic with your father at the poker table's just as good.
We've also got we had one of our PLO players from the stream. What did Sanjeev go as last week? I forget. Reckless. He was reckless. Reckless and his son Neil.
Yeah, Sanjeev and Neil. That's another father-son duo where the father just talks all the shit to the son, but the son doesn't talk back.
I feel like we should do that one day. We should
A
have an
father-son-
8-handed table. Yeah, all father-son
father-son.
game.
That'd be a good game.
Maybe June, maybe for Father's Day. If we get that working, that would be fun.
Zachary gonna open up the queen jack offsuit under the gun. He's Basal with 8s on the button. This is a close spot. Queen jack offsuit, typically a fold, but Zachary's just gonna go ahead and open up here. We're pretty light, but we're not in great shape with 2-8s here versus an open. So this comes down to what do we think Zachary's opening. If he's opening, 7-6 of hearts in there along with these queen jack offsuits, this becomes closer to a jam. Yep. He's just gonna stick it in there, thinking Zachary's capable of doing that.
I like it.
Kevin with ace jack of clubs in the small blind. Now I've got a decision. This hand's gonna shrivel up. Ace jack, suited or not suited, doesn't look really good versus a under the gun raise button shove for 8.5 big blinds. It does look. It's always a good hand to look at, though. Giving it some thought. Looks like he's gonna cut out some calling chips. Ace jack of clubs in this spot is an interesting hand because you're really hoping to be flipping. It's very hard for you to have the best hand. Basal versus this dynamic, Basal's not going to be getting out of line with the ace 5 suiteds. Ace 10 suited, about the worst hand that he could get. You could really have in bad shape.
Yeah, absolutely. Definitely one of those hands that's on the borderline that you almost wish wasn't suited because it would be way easier to just
fold,
let it go.
Yeah. Folds around. Zachary gonna, I imagine it, gonna Hollywood and then just put this in the muck. The best case scenario is this one or ace king, where you're live. Basal is honestly gonna have lots of queens, jacks, ace, queen, aces, kings, obviously.
If the hands are faced up, he may call, but that's not how the game works. So
Nope. We have seen people gamble plenty of times on the stream. Basal very aware in this hand that Zachary is capable of opening the slide and makes the right move, gets a good fold. I mean, that's a great pickup for him. Winning 900k uncontested with eights in that spot is pretty big. Of course, if you get called there with eights, you're not ecstatic about it.
no, but you know, you never did. That's the nice thing about having a pocket pair in your hand already. Definitely an interesting lineup. Sean C, champion of our first event, the $400 100K single day that we did. Congratulations to him on another deep run here at the final table.
It's impressive to make deep runs, multiple deep runs in these things, especially with so many entries.
Yeah, I mean, a tough field to get through. We only bag 8% for these just because we do have so many entries. So even surviving that long, it almost feels like, you know, you bag a big stack and you could have won a tournament already. But
yes,
you got to come back, do it all again on another day. And good run this last week.
Imagine he will be firing some bullets into our main event.
I would think so. In my experience, they come in bunches. So,
well, I mean, if I win the first, if I place well in the first two big events, I'll probably fire the third.
Absolutely.
Basal, king 10 off and cut off. Just gonna muck it. Kind of surprising. Doesn't really want to tangle with the players behind them. Imagine the ice queen here is gonna go with a limp mostly strategy, but this looks like raising chips. It's a pretty small raise blind versus blind. You see a lot of people that implement the raise sizings blind versus blind here to larger sizings. Zachary doesn't want to tangle though. Does have the worst hand.
Guys, we really want using clicks. We're gonna have to
Not sure coming into this table who played with who.
Yeah.
You know, so if she has a feeling that he's gonna be defending tight, you know.
Then she can start to open it up.
Exactly.
Somebody on tour
Most of these players have played with each other at some point in time during the tournament. It's very hard for them not to have. It is possible,
Never works.
since there are multiple tables until we break down to the final table. There are a couple players who don't have any interaction throughout the tournament, but most of the players know what the other players are up to, and those types of dynamics can play into decisions that they make
How am I supposed to get my
at this final table.
Well, speaking of decisions, that one's easy.
Ace and the queen. We have 6 big blinds. We are all in. There's Corette.
Played with her a lot over the past few years, and definitely starting to see her make more and more deep runs.
She's been a final table, or on the final table streams several times. Does well. See if she can get this one through. 9-6 back-to-back big blind. Sean gonna posture a little bit. This is a little too much to just gamble with, I think, but he may make the call. Yeah. Gets one through. This is a pretty big pickup for Miss Corette. When you're in her spot, you don't mind a fold, you don't mind a call. You'd honestly prefer a call, because at some point in time you will need to double up.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, when you have the top of your range
Yeah.
as opposed to, you know, the
It's
situations
10
where you have
offsuiters.
to, yeah, you
Ace
have to-
5 offsuit shoves.
So
If I'm gonna get dealt Ace Queen and I have 6 big blinds, I want to get looked up,
definitely.
because that's kind of the best spot you can get to double up. But picking up the blinds is not the worst, because now you can survive one more orbit.
When he's in town, he's here.
If you do that once per orbit, you can survive.
So we started when he turned 18 in high school last April.
I told you I've been teaching my son finally to play. He's 15. He wants to play pretty often at home, but it's kind of hard, just 2 of us, you know.
Just teach your son how to play heads up. Start them as monsters.
That's the best, yeah.
That's good. End game.
Next Doug Polk.
Helps in the end game.
Basal gonna open the Ace 9 suited in the low jack. Ace 3 suited for Kevin, gonna hit the muck. Nothing for Ice Queen. Nothing for Zachary. Miss Corette thinking about defending.
Been on the stream more than I have.
Fu, this is not a live broadcast. This is a recorded broadcast. This is our final table from last night. These players started playing at 11 p.m.
I was definitely not.
So we made the decision that
We'll pay for it. We just need somebody.
we did not want to live stream this. We figured y'all would want to get some sleep, and so would we.
Sure.
Oh yeah, that works.
And here we are now.
And so do me.
If you don't want the result to be spoiled, don't check your socials. Just stay with us here on YouTube. We can watch every hand of the action together.
Well, I'm not going to discuss.
Don't discuss work.
We're not going to give anything away.
Nope.
Some type of litigation of something or another.
Correct.
We want to sweat all the turns and rivers.
Real early.
That's good.
Yep.
The live final tables that we will be doing, I believe, are the remainder of the tournaments that are to be streamed. Friday, we will have, I believe, a live stream final table of our PLO event.
That should be fun.
And then next Monday, I believe, we will have a live stream of a final table of our main event, the $600 for 300K guarantee, as we get into a hand where aces just pick everything out there.
Well, it's better than losing.
It is.
I originally had something that would have prevented me from playing because I wouldn't be able to
So far, no one's gotten out of line, which you would expect with this much money at top. Everyone wants to make sure that they give themselves the best chance at that $33,000.
I can't.
Yeah, absolutely. Every chip
I need to.
is worth a lot of money right now. So
I'm curious to see if,
Yeah, we have.
as the table sets in, if Ice Queen or Kevin decide to open up a little bit more and really put pressure on the table, because with their positions and where Miss Coria is, they can really put some pressure on those stacks behind them.
yeah, absolutely. So far, you see them kind of just easing into it a little bit.
This was a $200 buy-in tournament with a 100K guarantee. We had almost 1,400 entries. We had, I think it's 1,350 something. That's a lot of entries. Sean just gonna rip the king queen off in the cutoff. Probably a factor of Miss Coria being the stack she is right behind him. What he doesn't want to do is open the king queen, have her shove, then someone call, and then he has to fold king queen. He just gets to realize all of his equity and fold out some better like the ace five. I like the play.
We started a law firm of Jordan Lynch and Concierge, 1980 post.
Sean not afraid to make the strong move there.
He only had 20 big blinds.
Timothy, I
10 big
don't
ones, sorry.
think
10 big ones.
if you're expecting snap folds consistently in Texas, I don't think that's actually what you're going to get. I think these players are just kind of settling in and, like I said, really eyes on a very, very big prize considering the $200 buy-in. So starting out a little conservatively, but Texans are not known for folding. I will say that.
Kevin with king queen. Now the suited version. I'm gonna open this up. It seems they've chosen 2.25x is the opening sizing, 250K.
So happy with king queen until you get 3-bet, but so far it's working.
Basal with an ace in the big blind versus an under the gun open. Gonna flick him the call here. We're gonna point flip equity wise. Jack high, no one with a pair. Ace high, the best hand. Not really a board king queen really likes.
No, especially with no club.
Yeah. Just gonna check it back. Spades may let Basal steal this if he wants to. Checks it. Kevin checks. 3 pairs the board. I wonder if Basal is going to take a stab to try and get slightly better ace highs to fold. No, it just goes to showdown. Ace highs are gonna win. Did not elect to bluff. Would have been bluffing with the best hand if had he chosen to.
Do you think Kevin missed the bet on the river there?
I don't think so. Well, so I think Kevin's hand looks exactly like what it is. I think if Kevin were to bet anywhere, it would have been the turn. Wouldn't have minded his hand choice, even though it has no spades. Doesn't have a lot of showdown versus the showdown range that Basal has. You know, a pair of eights, a pair of fives, random ace highs, and you can get a lot of those to fold. So I wouldn't have minded a bet
On the turn,
on
no.
the turn.
Yeah. Once the board pairs the river, it's kind of
Yes.
a little obvious.
I think the check back on the flop is pretty standard.
Yeah, too dry. Just give him one club, dealer.
Jacks for Sean. I'm gonna figure out what he wants to do. Has a lot more to bet this, so but he's just going to rip it. Once again, I think this is a factor of Miss Coria's stack, he just doesn't. I don't think this is a hand he would fold, but this may be kind of a merge. You also don't want super light defends. Ace deuce of clubs, not looking very strong here, but a hand if he wants to gamble with, that he could look up with.
Wonder, Kevin's had a lot of little suited club hands.
Little nice pickup with Sean. Sean Stagg, nice at 3 million.
I believe right now, if you're tuning into the stream and have some time, we have a great tournament. We have a double green chip bounty tournament tonight. Registration just opened at 5 o'clock, so still a little bit of time. Traffic should be dying down.
Wouldn't be a bad tournament to get in.
Yeah, great events every day this week coming up. I personally have my sights set on the horse tournament.
Miss Coria gonna go on with jacks. They fell in her hand this time. Walter's out of there. Uh-oh, Daddy's got kings.
The
Very big re-raise, just isolating all in. Doesn't want to invite anyone else into the pot. Don't blame him.
yeah, you can, especially when a player is potentially going to be eliminated. Sometimes people call a little bit looser than they would normally.
Yeah, getting that chance for really setting up like a 2v1 scenario.
Exactly.
No one really having much of anything. Miss Coria needs to find a jack so far, and a jack alone to dig her out of this spot. Not a good board.
Halfway decent start though.
Does give her backdoor possibilities.
Give him the set.
Give him a set. She can no longer make a set of her own, but it improves her from 2 to 2 outs.
Yeah, just
Same outs.
changes the 2 outs.
But that's it. Well played, Miss Coria. Made it as far as she could, and that's just a cooler. You can't do anything about that.
Yeah, happy to see you at the final table, ma'am. And I'm sure we will be seeing her this weekend as well. The nice, what was it, 3,500?
You get those payouts up a little more than that, I think. 4,130. Not a bad, still not a bad payout for her. Next person eliminated getting $10 short of 5K. Pay jumps are starting to get a little heftier. Now there were 7. Everybody at the bottom, Basal, Zachary, and Sean, all within 2 big blinds of each other, basically. Maybe Basal, maybe 3. That leads for a lot more play. Even though their stacks are very short, they may not have to just shove or fold. Since they're also close in stack size to stack sizes, they should be opening some a little bit.
Yeah, you can
See more just opening, not just all in, all in.
I think there's definitely, you can try to be the aggressive strategy and aggressively try to chip up in that spot, or you can kind of sit back, relax, and try to wait on some of the similar size stacks to get tangled up in hands.
Ice Queen open the 9s from the small blind. Getting the fold in the big blind. Does elect the larger sizing with the 9s.
Definitely something to keep an eye on. The sizing, blind versus blind, like you said, definitely kind of interesting right now with those two stacks.
I wonder. She's used 2 different sizings now, and I wonder if Zachary knows that it's possible for it to have different hand strengths based on those sizings.
Right, right. It can be difficult to, read into something with only two hands, but, once we get into the second or third hour of the stream, they're in the same situation.
And that was a nice pickup by Daddy, just picking up an extra 6 big blinds, 7 big blinds there.
Huge difference.
100%
Madrid is definitely one of the greatest cities on earth. Never gone.
Deborah in the chat rooting for Ice Queen.
I imagine Ice Queen has a lot of fans out there. Very active local poker player. You're all over the place from cash games to tournaments.
Yeah. Ice Queen is actually an advocate for the Women's Poker Association. So she's been heavily involved in the community, putting together ladies' games and ladies' tournaments. So definitely been a big advocate for Houston poker.
Guess you're coloring up the.
We're going. Well, we're not doing race off.
They will be.
We still have a couple levels, 150, 300.
Yeah.
They will be taking a short 10-minute break. And from what I understand, we will be too with y'all. They did not edit out the breaks for this one. Let us know who y'all are rooting for. If y'all have any specifics, we all know there are some big fans of the Ice Queen in chat. We've got one fan for Walter. Well, I don't know. Owen, you never really said whether or not you're rooting for your dad. We just know you're in here watching your dad.
I mean, you would think he wants an inheritance. Let's go.
My dad said he was going to spend all of his money before he died. So.
Hey. Well, maybe you can have him take you to Vegas or take him somewhere so at least you can catch a little bit of it.
All right, so you are supporting your father. Okay, it's good news. It's good news.
Huge fan. Also curious, any of you guys that are following this tournament because you played it, if you played with any of the players, have any interesting stories or things that happened earlier in the tournament.
Ice Queen had one of those interesting stories for her.
She did indeed. I heard about this hand that she was involved in the first thing when I walked into the door. I think it was Saturday. So
she bad beat someone here in her flight that she bagged in. She rivered a royal. Turned a royal versus aces full, and yeah, that's a bad beat. It's not quite the bad beat, but it is a bad beat. It is a bad beat that everyone will find out about.
Yeah, I mean, the only way it would have been worse is if it was at the final table, as opposed to early on in the tournament when it happened.
Not a bad spot to get a royal flush.
Yeah, King, Queen of Diamonds, Ace, Jack of Diamonds on the flop with another Jack, and just bink, 10 of Diamonds on the turn. We do actually have a great promotion here during our regular Monday, Wednesday, and Friday nightly tournaments. If you flop a royal flush, we have a progressive bonus that is just under $9,000 right now. So
you do have to flop the royal flush during the registration period.
Yes, that is true.
It is a progressive jackpot. It is slowly climbing. Interesting thing to note about that also is the promotion was won the very first day we had it live.
That's wild.
It's not supposed to be won that often, but it was. I think it was won in the last level of registration period. Player flops a royal win the $3,000 that we'd put out for the thing, you know. Not a bad deal.
Amazing. I have indeed flopped a royal flush in a tournament.
It's hard to make one, let alone flop it. So, kudos to you.
Yeah, thank you.
How many royals have you had?
I have had 3.
That's more
Or
than
4.
most. That's more than most people have in their life.
Yeah, I've definitely had 3. I kind of stopped keeping track as much, and I've only been playing live poker for about 4 or 5 years. So, as far as I'm above board on.
Way above average.
Yeah, way above average on
average.
royals. If only I could figure out how to play pocket jacks, then I would. I'd rather have that.
Oh, no, royals are pretty cool. I've used my quota for royals for my lifetime, and the first half, or more than the first half of my poker career, I think I have 7 live royals
Oh wow.
across all the various games I've played, including PLO, but only one flopped royal. The first royal I ever made was a was a turn straight flush and a rivered royal, and the only hand that could call me was a hand that qualified for the bad beat jackpot, and they didn't have it, obviously.
Right. You must have had Jack 10, huh?
No, I had king queen. The flop,
Oh, king queen.
the flop had the 9 and 10. The turn was the jack of diamonds, and the river was the ace of diamonds.
Wow.
So the only hand that could call a bet on my river on the river was 7-8 of diamonds.
Right. Yeah.
And when I bet, I looked at him. I said, "Do you have it?" And he said, "No, I'm sorry," and folded. And everybody at the table was sad because they knew what I was asking.
Yeah. You're asking him to call without asking him to call. Yeah, I've actually, now that I think about it, all of my royals have been in Hold'em. I have no PLO royals.
Most of my, I've had lots of quads in in PLO, but I haven't had a lot of straight flushes. All my straight flushes have come in Hold'em, which is once again weird.
Yeah. You got the wiretap.
Maybe Owen has some inside information on that.
Yeah, absolutely. What was his perspective on the other players at the table? Actually, DT, I think we were supposed to. This was supposed to be our Magic Monday, but it's totally okay because I'm enjoying the final table, enjoying to hang out and do the stream with you. But I guess we'll have to postpone Magic and do it next Monday.
Indeed. Work comes first.
Unfortunately.
Don't live by that motto, ladies and gentlemen. You gotta have fun, and this is a pretty fun way to work.
No, there's 2 minutes.
Absolutely can't complain about it one bit.
We're just gonna get like a trail mix.
Oh, and I mean, I think that's how you should play this tournament. I'm a firm believer in playing to win the max, unless you think that there is not a huge skill disparity
How did you just come back?
between the players. Like, let's say you get 5-handed, everyone's got 8 big blinds, like 8 to 10 big blinds, and you think everybody's pretty similar in skill level. I think a deal's okay, because at that stage of the tournament, you're just leaving it up for the mercy of the deck.
Yeah, I 100% agree with that. I'm kind of always a fan because I think a lot of people feel like, you can't say you won a poker tournament unless you play it out all the way. And I do like winning things and I like trophies. So I like doing some sort of deal where there's something to play for. And you can still, have a little bit of extra money or the prestige of the trophy for the winner. But, once you get, 15, 20 blind. It's a lot of coin flipping that you have to do in these tournaments.
There still is play at the 15 to 20 big blind level, but everybody has that 15. But once you get below the 10 big blind mark, that's really when
Thank you.
it's
And thank you all.
it's just so high variance.
Right.
You're going to be taking a lot of 60-40s, just hoping you wind up on the better side.
Right.
All right, we're gonna be coming
The
back
trophy
to
is very cool.
Oh yeah, our trophy is very cool. Do you know the part I'm most excited about? I hope you do.
No, what was it?
The trophy opens.
No.
The globe, yeah, the globe on the top opens and you can put stuff in it.
Oh, stop. That's really cool.
So
Okay.
they showed me
that's
that the
super
other
cool.
day, and it's really cool.
Yeah, that
And
would have
it's-
made me obsessed.
It's like magnetic, so it's a pretty cool trophy to have.
Yeah, that's amazing. If you guys, you will see it a little bit later on the stream when we lose a few more players. It's gonna appear and as motivation for these guys. But it's basically Atlas if you're into mythology. The guy with the world on his shoulders, and it's like I don't know if it's like bronze or anything, but it's very very cool.
Yeah, the trophy's great, Owen. Can't not be a big fan of that trophy after seeing what it is.
I'll take anything that says that I won on it. I don't care. Give me a piece of paper that says Shanice won today. Dated 5/19. I'm happy.
Would you start like a wall of I won stuff if you got that, or do you already have that?
I mean, I have two decent sized little trophies from recently acquired within the last 6 months. So they're just together in a place. I like the idea of being able to add to that collection at some point in the future.
Are they poker?
They are
Oh,
poker
okay.
trophies, yeah. The Trailblazer in Dallas closing event.
That's cool.
And
Get a trophy shelf started.
hopefully working on it. I'm actually still upset. The very first tournament I won, I didn't get a trophy for. Which, looking back, I'm like every other event. It was a tournament series, and every other event got something, and I didn't. So I'm still a little salty about that, but just try to add more.
I'd like a trophy someday. Well, a poker trophy.
You will get one. I believe you will get one.
I don't know. To have to play tournaments, which I don't play. So there's the first
Well,
flaw.
okay, yeah. You cannot win which you do not play.
Yep.
I mean, I will say our very own Fireman Scott has one of the best trophies you can have, a WSOP bracelet, which when he's in game mode wearing his bracelet, it is very nice.
That's I believe the most coveted one in the community. The bracelet. It's a nice one.
Yeah, I mean, a wearable trophy.
And it's a little. Those things are hefty. They're not a. You can't miss it. If someone's wearing a World Series of Poker bracelet, is noticeable. It's not
Very.
like a dinky little thing they got on. Is there?
Yeah, you definitely notice it right away. Wow, gets the sevens to fold with the king six of diamonds.
Players not wanting. Like these smaller pocket pairs with these shorter stacks become very hard to navigate throughout final tables because some players just don't want to risk that much with what is a strong hand, but also not a strong hand.
Right.
Once you put especially when you start having to put more and more chips in the middle, it just becomes so hard.
Yeah, the smaller the pair, the more likelihood that your opponent has two overs, which
Traveling around playing different places.
It's
is
not
a
even
horse race.
just the overs you have to worry about. It's if they have a bigger pair, you're in some terrible shape.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, absolutely. That's always the nightmare.
Then I misunderstood. Okay. Didn't realize you had been here. Welcome back.
One more time, shot. All right, one folds.
Got new chips in play. They added those, I guess, green turquoises. 500 cages. Are they 500? 100 Ks? No, those
They're
are
500.
500s. They're
Yeah,
500s.
500 for the blue, 100 for the brown, and 25K for the white.
Still not a fan of brown chips in any form, but whatever.
Listen, I mean, brown can be beautiful. You just have to.
I'm not saying brown. I'm not saying brown can't be beautiful. I'm saying brown poker chips are
Not your
not
vibe.
it.
You feel strongly about that.
I'm very strongly opinionated. As y'all know, I greatly dislike our brown $5,000 chips here. They are sightly, to say the least.
I would be so happy to have a 5K chip in my possession that I don't
The
care
color
what
doesn't
color.
matter?
Yeah, it doesn't matter. Especially if I were, I mean, I don't know what I would have had to have done to catch one in the wilds, but
Yes, Owen, they are. See, Owen's got the right idea. Not the greatest. Walter just limping Jack 10 off in the cutoff. I don't know how often these players have worked, I guess, or tried to work limping into their strategy. But one of the problems I have with limping is it's hard to balance. This is a board a limped player will almost, when someone limps a hand in the cutoff, I imagine it's going to be a hand like Walter has a good portion of the time. I don't
connected, middle connected.
Yeah, a hand like 8-9 suited that doesn't want to raise, Jack 10 off, Queen 10 off. Those hands, the very marginal hands. So if I do like that Walter's stabbing here because I think he's going to have King Jack off and King 10 off pretty frequently, which is going to be the best king if he does have it. But Kevin can't fold once he turns top pair. Pretty reasonable kicker, 9.
Card might actually slow Walter down. Maybe he's gonna try to take it showdown.
Yeah.
Looks like it does.
It just went check check.
Yeah, check check fold.
I think it's an automatic check back when we hit this pair. Oh, can't get called by worse. There's 2 flush draws of worse hands though that we beat at showdown. I can't say that, Owen. You can say that. As a commentator, I'm not here to pass judgment like that.
Jack 10's one of the best hands to take, to see a flop with. So
I don't think Jack 10 offsuit is a hand I would want to get involved with if I'm not raising.
Yeah, I mean, considering the particularly the circumstance at the table at a final table. I mean, if it's a cash game, if I'm playing 1-2, I mean,
cash is entirely different.
We're talking different things, but. Doyle Brunson did the math 30 years ago, and it held up. It held up to be true that Jack 10 is the best hand against aces, I guess. So.
That is not true.
That's not true?
I believe it's 7-6 suited.
Oh, okay.
It's because some of your straights with Jack 10 involve
aces, yeah.
Aces.
Okay, fair enough, fair enough.
And all of your straights with 7-6 suited do not.
That makes sense. Considering that he did that by hand with pencil and paper, though,
yeah.
I think I'll give him credit for being pretty much on the right track.
I do agree, Owen, with that.
Now, yes, we'll definitely give Owen that. I do like this.
The
Oh
big
my
blind
gosh,
is
this is
just
so weird.
the big
Why am I
blind's
in the
just gonna,
box?
the big blind's just gonna have so much stuff that you can just get them to fold a lot of things there. Either worse hands or better hands. Just on that board, they're just gonna be kind of handcuffed.
DT, I might have to lose. I literally don't know if I can watch myself deal right now. It's so weird.
Make all the commentary about Shanice's dealing. Don't worry what the players are doing.
Yeah, no. Please focus on these players and how great they're all doing.
Walter with a hand. I hope he doesn't limp. Probably not gonna open this king queen off. Definitely strong enough to open up here.
One thing that is kind of cool about this is, you know, sometimes in a tournament while people are thinking, you kind of have some time to think. I wonder what they have in this moment. So I kind of get to go back and see.
It's not like the fast action or the fast-paced cash games where it's just bam, 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 bam. Tournament players are much more likely to be methodical and thorough with their thought process.
Yeah, I mean, you know, it's not like when you're playing cash that the money in front of you doesn't mean anything or doesn't matter, but
Sometimes it doesn't.
sometimes it doesn't. You can always get more. That's what the ATM is for. These chips, once they're gone, they are gone.
Kevin figuring out if he's got the right price to set mine. He does. Almost $1 million. It's a very big open. 3.5 or 3, almost 3x. A little more than 3x. They're gonna take a flop. Ace Jack, Ace, gonna favor Walter pretty heavily. I think he's going to bet. Nope. This is a great spot to bet range. Doesn't matter. We can just turn the straight. Now the question is, what are we going to start getting value from if we start betting here? Does check. No 5. Close though.
That would have been very gnarly. We made for an interesting river.
Walter gonna have to bet for.
I thought you said he had.
No, you said I hadn't acted yet.
Yeah, I was just trying to think I hadn't acted.
When you were checking, you
Yeah, I
said
was,
no.
yeah.
I got you.
I don't know. It's
Kevin thought that Walter checked there, and when Walter was trying to tell him that he hadn't checked, he started to open the hand a little bit.
What's that?
Don't think it changed anything. He was pretty much going to be folding to
Trying to make it
most bets.
right. Right. Right, I'm not.
A6 is 15 tonight.
You didn't see that out.
oh, and it's not nice to call your dad names not in public.
Sorry, I didn't mean to.
No, that wasn't you.
Wait, this is public. All right, you can continue.
Good bit.
Trying to be squirrely. Pretty shitty of me, actually. I said that was squirrely.
Seven rings, 600. 8 folds, 600. 8 fold, 1 fold, 2 fold.
Daddy getting a little aggressive with his suited wheel ace. Gonna min click it. Zach in the small blind with inferior hearts. may want to get involved with this. Deciding if he wants to. It's a good price.
Very pretty.
Don't know. Don't know if I like the price, but that looks like a pretty good flop for our hand, though. Although there are 3 diamonds, it is still very likely we have the best hand. Fourth diamond's gonna make this hard.
Yeah, now not
I wonder.
as excited.
Yeah, I wonder if Daddy is gonna take this as a place to bet. This is our hand has almost no showdown value. He does. I like this bet. No diamond, but we do have the betting initiative still. Zach, non-believer, gonna make the call. Let's see if Daddy's willing to put him to the test. Ace 4 has no showdown value here. So I imagine if we were thinking about bluffing the turn, we could think about bluffing this river. And that looks like he's reaching for some chips. This could be very interesting. I like the bet.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, no showdown value. Not really a great option to try to win the hand, so let's see if he can convince Zachary.
This is going to be an incredibly hard call to make. It would be a great call if he made it. You would have to put Daddy on a hand exactly like he has. A hand like Ace 10, no diamond, Ace King, no diamond.
It's so hard for me right now because I vividly remember this hand.
Phony, I think he played the hand fine. It's just the run out not favoring him. When you're not the pre-flop aggressor, a lot of poker play currently plays in flow. Makes a call. What a great call by Zach. Picks off a bluff. Oh, and I think it was well played by Daddy too. Well played on both parts. I wonder if an all-in sizing would have got the job done. Putting someone's tournament life at risk is very different than them calling and having, 5-6 big blinds left. So that could have been the difference maker.
Absolutely. I mean, 1.5, nice and hefty, but, we all have that chip in a chair.
Yeah, if I
Staying
call and
ahead.
I'm wrong, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they're a lot further out.
We don't acknowledge it as betting.
What a great call, though. Daddy with 2-8s now under the gun. Yeah, just going to pile it in.
It's all about forward motion.
Definitely could look like steam here. So I don't know if anybody may be thinking about calling lighter than they would normally, but we'll see.
It's interesting because in cash games, you're more likely to think this is a steam raise, but in tournaments, at a final table, oh no, they're gonna clash again. This is gonna get looked up.
Yeah.
You're less likely to think it's steam, but there's still always the small amount of doubt.
Yeah, I mean, and steam could end up being, still be king jack suited or, something.
But I mean, this
Still
is
good.
just a collision.
Yeah, with the blinds that he has remaining after that, losing that big hand.
Daddy at risk, gotta win a race. Does have the best hand. Fair fight, not fair anymore. And just like that, he will be eliminated. Good run, Daddy. gonna get a cool $49.90 for his efforts. Next, we have a $1,000 pay jump. Sixth place going to be eliminated with a near $6,000 payout. Not a bad, still not a bad payday.
We are still happy. We still have plenty to celebrate this week and come back next week for the $600 main event. Congratulations to Daddy. That's the, you know, a lot of people don't play tournaments though for exactly what we just witnessed, right? You know, you have a great weekend, you run well, and then literally 2 hands and it's over. It can be tough.
Yes, Ben.
We were looking apparently back to the
625.
equity thing versus aces. It's apparently 6-5 suited.
I did, yeah. I looked at AI. It does list though, like basically all of those suited.
Are really good.
Connected,
We're
yeah.
talking about a 0.5%
Right,
edge
right.
over stuff. But yeah, I mean still.
6-5, 7-6.
Yeah.
You know, any of those like.
Those are the 2 best ones, followed by I think 7-8. I mean, it just starts trickling down.
Yeah, until you get to Jack 10.
So I'm just gonna pile it in. Don't mind this. Only has 8 big blinds. Walter can't call. Ice Queen. This may be too much for Ice Queen to call. She's getting a great price, but the 2 of the big hands that Sean is going to be piling with, Ace King and Ace Queen, have her in rough shape.
Right.
Ace Jack is still ahead of you, and then you're flipping with all of his non-kings and queens and aces pairs.
2.6 million.
I think if this were 2 million or less,
No.
she would flick in the call, but the extra 2 big blinds makes it a pretty big difference here. Yeah, it does make the good laydown, good fold. Nice little chip up by Sean.
Sean with the kiss, always bringing some hype streetwear to the poker room.
Basal now sitting at 10 big blinds. The next one really at risk. I mean, the blinds are such that each increase in blind levels is going to make it harder and harder for these players with the smaller chip stacks to hold on. Going to have to start making some moves at some point. Sean looking at the levels. Walter, 10-9 suited on the button. Most certainly good enough to come in for a raise. Even though our chip stack's not the greatest, still perfectly fine hand to open up here on the button. Decides to rip it. I don't mind this at all. I would prefer just a larger. I think a larger sizing would do the same thing. Instead of 2x, you do 3x, and then all of the 3 bets, all the 3 bets that come from the small blind and big blind are going to be pretty polar, so you can fold.
Yeah.
But he make it looked up here. It is a big raise, but King Queen versus shove from the button is looking a lot better than King Queen after an early raise and 3-bet.
Right, definitely. But I was also going to say, I mean, that extra, again, with the sizing, you know, the extra amount that he bet may actually work to his benefit here in convincing the hand as strong as King Queen to fold.
Yep, Lando, pretty good value for a $200 buy-in tournament. It did work out in his favor. Makes a fold. Very likely would have seen a flop. Gets one through. Well done by Walter. Blackjack hand in the muck.
3 full, 4 full.
These are the things you start to see now when we're commentating are the things that players say. Like all the bad hands are like 6 deuces, nat 8.
Double down.
Yeah.
Or,
8
I don't
3 is
know.
a double down. Like 7 deuces, natural 9. You know.
Absolutely.
Walter all in again. Basal just mucking the 5s. Not in great shape here. He's gonna be happy to muck that. Preserve his chip stack.
1 fold, 2 folds.
Another nice pickup. Chipping up. Very important.
You gotta do what you gotta do.
I used to do it a lot when I had all my chips. I didn't give them to you. You earned them.
You have against his queen.
Not ace king suited.
No, it was standard.
It was blind, but it's blind too. If I re-raise, he was gonna show.
Yeah.
It'll be the same.
Total standard.
Players must be talking about a big hand that happened before we got down to this final.
Between the two of them, yes. Sean? I thought
Nine and hit 4.
he was considering opening the 5-4 King Jack. In the hijack 6-handed. See if Walter comes in for a raise. Would like to see a raise here, not a shove. Does.
700.
It's nice when you win a couple hands and then you have raising chips. You don't have to.
And
be
Basal
all
wakes
in.
up with the goods here. This is going to go in the middle. We have less than 10 big blinds.
Eight is all in. 1 fold, 2 folds, 3 folds.
Just got these chips.
I think it's still just a little too much for Walter to look up. Basal will not be shoving super light here. I don't think he's going to be always super strong, but I think King Jack is not going to be in great shape. I don't think Basal is going to be shoving King 10 or Jack 10 or Queen Jack. Dirty diaper, not going to cut it. Won't be 4 hands of raising in a row. Basal going to wait patiently. Not going to pile it in with just an ace.
2 folds.
6s in the small blind.
That's cute.
This might just be a rip. Blind versus blind. Yeah.
3 is
I
all
believe so, yeah.
4 folds.
Just picks it up, yeah. Sean with 11 big blinds. Just going to have to muck it.
Thank you.
Three folds. 4 all in. 6 folds.
We're gonna all in from the button. Sean, suited king, knows what he needs to put the pressure on somewhere, and it's gonna work. Gonna pick up the blinds, can survive for another round.
Playing awesome post flop. I mean, everybody's doing great.
Everyone, Walter's statement's pretty true. Everyone's been playing pretty well.
Yeah.
No one's really getting too out of line. Everyone's staying in their own lane. But at some point, there's going to be some gambling that needs to be done. Zach, ace-3 suited, going to open it up with that chip stack. I would.
600. 4 folds. 6 folds. 8 folds.
King 7 of hearts, inferior. Going to make the call. Pretty standard defend here. Going to take a flop.
Oh, flop.
Yeah.
It's not what I'm.
Not a great flop for either player. Ace high still best.
I wish no ill will. I just want to see cards.
See if Zach wants to. See, he does. Gonna see bet pretty small. Goes a third pot.
At the very first.
Does Kevin believe him, or does Kevin have an idea of making a move? Kevin with the stronger board range is gonna have more eights, more sixes. But Zach gonna have more overpairs. Just lets it go. Doesn't want to get creative. Nice pickup by Zach. Basal and Sean not quite in the danger zone since the play has slowed down quite a bit.
3 folds, 4 folds, 6 folds.
But as the blind levels go up, the next time they will start really needing to find spots.
Why didn't you do the live stream? Well,
You just have to have commentators up this late, and they just didn't have them. So they'll commentate on
no,
top.
I know the commentator.
Because we're all in the box. I'm in the box. BT's in the box.
It's true, we were in the box.
Yeah.
If y'all want us to live stream the final tables when they're this late, we can. We just made the executive decision that y'all, as viewers, would rather not stay up till 4 in the morning.
4 folds, 6 all in.
Walter just gonna rip the ace jack. Basal nothing home. Kevin nothing home. Nothing home. Nothing. Let's see if Zach picks up anything. Nope, nothing home.
I appreciate it.
Nice pickup.
Weekend, we got another one.
It's really hard to plan these final tables because you know roughly when they're gonna break down and start playing, but you don't know when they're gonna end, which is an important factor. This one's starting at 11, is pushing the 11ish, maybe 11:30, kind of pushing the edge. of that threshold. If they start, you know, around 8 or 9 p.m., maybe 8, 9, 10, a lot more reasonable to consider. But once you start getting past 11, it just makes more sense to record this and let the viewers who can't stay up late, which is, I imagine, a lot of y'all, watch at a pretty normal scheduled time. Blind versus blind. We got another shove in hand. See if we wake up with a calling hand. Sean is in the tank. Queen 8's too weak. Queen 8, a hand we'd rather shove with than call it off with. Does make the right fold. Another nice pickup. Zach Curtis show of the ace. Courtesy. That's what courtesy show.
Either showing an ace or two cards. There. Otherwise.
I imagine Sean is going to be on the receiving end of that a lot if it folds to the to them when he's in the big blind. His stack size is just where the small blinds can with that 10 million chips that can just kind of relentlessly rip it in. Doesn't even have to be an ace. I imagine hands like 8, 7, 8 suited are going to pile it into. You can just get hand like Queen 8 to fold. Aces now for Zach on the button. Big pickup, going to open it up. Be a bad time to wake up with something for Walter. He does have a defendable hand versus a button open. Question is, does he want to defend it? Just lets it go. Disciplined. Don't mind it. Wouldn't mind it either way. Call or fold. Zach's still going to be, I imagine, leveraging his chip stack very well versus both of them when it folds to him on the button. Eight 4 suited, pretty easy to play, but it will get you in a lot of trouble, though. Save all that hassle by folding. Maybe call with the 8-5, 8-6 suited, not the 8-4, the all the way 3 gap. Fives for the ice queen now. Gonna open this one up.
2 raises, 650. 3 fold, 4 fold. 6 folds.
Ooh, Basal with a real hand. The question isn't whether or not he's going to see a flop. The question is whether or not it's going to be more to see the flop. And it will not. Basal just calls. They will be racing, just not with all the chips in the middle. Great flop for Basal. Will Ice Queen represent this board? She does have the stronger big cards. The question in my mind is, what is Basal calling off a stack in the big blind with? And fives does not play very well versus that on this flop. Basal going to go for some value. Goes a little hefty. Really targeting a jack that checks back pocket 10s, pocket 8s, all these other pairs. I don't imagine Ice Queen would check back a queen on the flop, as dynamic as this board is. That's a pretty hefty bet, to 1.1 million into 1.4. Just gonna let the fives go. Pretty good pickup for Basal. anytime you have 3 million in your ship stack and you can pick up, you know, a third of it, without much hassle.
Yeah, Basal picked up some hands during this period.
This is blinds up this hand. This is really where I think we're going to start seeing players start to open up. Sean now less than 10 big blinds. Walter right at 10 big blinds. Basal right at 10 big blinds.
That's the point of action that you were talking about earlier.
And this is really where you're gonna need to start making some moves, trying to maneuver away, trying to accumulate chips. Small blind versus big blind. I'd like to see a shove here with the queen ten off. We're not thrilled about it. We have one of the bigger chip stacks. Just calls. Oh no, it's a raise. I can't see. I don't mind this either. A bigger raise sizing. Kevin can't call. I would just really want to deter a call from a hand as strong as, say, King 10 suited.
Right.
And a raise to 1 million may get a call from King 10 suited, whereas all-in may get the fold. You also may get some folds from hands like 5s, 6s, 7s. Whereas when you open to 1 million, the big blind could now consider ripping those hands. But it's kind of a minor thing. I don't mind the raise to 1 million. I think as long as he doesn't fold, we're in a great spot. And he didn't fold.
Definitely leave some room for play afterwards, but
6 is going to open. Pretty hand in the muck. Big hand versus big hand.
big hand, glasses on.
This is going to get 3-bet. Will they collide here? So, Zach may fold this to a 3-bet. This is going to be a very strong range from the Ice Queen here. And I don't think it's going to be a small sizing. Because this is a hand that can play for everything. Yeah, and it does, and that's... I like the sizing. I thought she was going to go anywhere from 4x to everything, and she chose ladder. And it's a good pickup because you know that he's not going to call you super light. 6s, big hand to get folded out. It is ahead of you, and you know he's going to fold a lot of those medium pairs. 8s and below, probably 9s and below. 10s is on the cusp. 10s doesn't feel great. Jack certainly doesn't feel great. I do think queens, kings are obviously going to snap you off.
Right. Yeah, I mean, you know, putting under the gun on a strong range, but ace king, one of the best hands you can have. Yeah. And you know, I think if you have aces, they're GGs. But otherwise,
it's a cooler if he has aces. Walter gonna stick it in here. Yep. 11 big blinds. It's gonna go in. And this is not good. Basal waking up with the goods. Ace? Yeah. And that is not what you want to hear as Walter. Oh, all the aces out. Ace Jack looking real bad here. Yep. Not looking good.
Kevin may have been roped into calling Walter, or would have had to seriously consider it, but with two players.
Oh, when Basal going all in, our hand's not great. Our hand doesn't look very good versus Walter either. He raised with 4 people left to act. Kevin giving it some thought. Imagine it's going to hit the muck.
5.1.
Basal rejamming is just going to be very strong.
5.125. Good luck, Colin. Everybody fold 1, 2, 3, 4. Open up, guys.
This is a great spot for Basal because if he wins this, he'll have 10 million in chips. And likewise for Walter, if he can find a queen. No queen, not good for Walter. That's what he is looking for, else he will be eliminated in 6th place. No chop outs. No queen, and a queen alone will save his tournament life. And that is not a queen, it is a king. Congratulations, Walter. Good run. Just got coolered at the end. We'll go out in 6 for $5,990. Good run, Walter. Congratulations again. The next player eliminated will be eliminated in 5th for $7,700. No bigger and bigger jumps coming. There were 5. And that was just a cooler. You can't do anything about that. Basal with now breathing room.
You know how I pitch it so hard for me. Very nice pitch back now for Basal. In there along with Ice Queen and Zachary. Zachary here with Pocket Kings. And no action. 8 deuce offsuit for song C. Not gonna play.
Thank you. I think we all are. Everybody's
New dealer coming in. I'll tap myself out.
drained.
It's 2:30.
Anybody play the turbo this morning? You played the turbo this morning? No. You had already.
Like 2 days ago.
Was that the turn? No.
No, I thought he had already.
We were in the book yesterday.
Players talking about the turbo flights that we do at 9 a.m. on the Sunday morning of quite a few of our day 2 events. One last chance for those that can't play on the weekends. Does turn into a long day for those players though, if you go that route. Starting at 9 a.m. and if you make a deep run, you're playing for 12, 13, 14 hours. Sean C. all in with the Ace Jack of Diamonds. A welcome sight. Just around 6 big blinds.
2,475,000.
So, not going to call with 5-3 offsuit, even though it's always painful to give up your big blinds.
range was like 80%, honestly. Like Jack 10, I would call you.
Sean trying to spin that stack into another victory. Right now, the shortest stack at the table. But with Zachary in the lead with 10.5 million, One double up could change the whole picture. Ace queen with the king of spades and a mystery cards, but the glasses came on, so I think it might be a good one. She does call from first position. Or is that a raise? Excuse me, that is a raise to 1 million.
Well, 2.5x opening run. Kevin, Kevin, always the player with ace jack, just mucks it. I feel like that's been the hand he's always had tonight. That you're like, I want to play this, then you have to fold it.
It's so frustrating just being able only catching the marginal hand, the hand that you know you have to play, or in some situations, but you're never excited about.
Unfortunately for Kevin, he's kind of not seen a lot of action. He's actually chipped down from being tied for the chip lead the entire time. He's just been watching from the sidelines, slowly bleeding out.
Yeah.
And good on him for finding the patience to not, you know, spew. It does suck, and this is unfortunately one of the parts of poker. Just at some point in time, you will need to make a hand, and he just hasn't made a hand. See if he can make one in time, though, before he bleeds out.
Still ahead of Sean in chips, so doesn't necessarily have to feel rushed. But it is frustrating to watch big blind after big blind disappear.
All ends all over the place, and then you're looking at ace jack consistently and having to fold it. But it's been right every time.
You have to do what you have to do to survive.
Now we got a little blind versus blind. King high still the best. This will be who wants it most. Nice queen. Now with the best hand, deuces and eights. We'll likely try and get this to showdown. Gonna bet at this. It's hard to, yeah, it's just gonna be so hard to let a deuce go here. Kevin has shown no interest the entire way through. I'd imagine this bet would be an 8 or nothing.
Right.
We have the, it could be a deuce too, but we have, I think ace deuce might take a different line pre-flop.
Nice river call from Ice Queen. It's hard to make a pair, they say.
Very hard to make a pair. Especially the shorter handed you are. So, I mean, being 5-handed, it's going to be much, much harder to make a pair than 9-handed. You're just not seeing, there's so few hands that are going to be seeing flops. Whereas in 9-handed, you know, nine players get a chance at seeing a hand that they want to see a flop with.
Yeah, absolutely. Sean C going all in with King 9 here before the blinds come to attack him.
I like this. He knows that he's in danger. King 9, not the greatest hand, but it does look incredibly strong to be shoving from this spot. Does that give me in consideration with the King 6? I don't think this is going to be a spot where he looks this up.
And just such a large percentage of the stack, right at 30%. So,
and King 6 is just such a marginal hand.
Zachary does end up making the correct laydown.
I think that would be a stretch to gamble with at this stage. There will be some gambling at some point, and I believe if these 5 stay through and make it to the next level, that's when it will commence.
Definitely. Yeah, the 500K level.
The 500K level will be the kind of the tipping point.
Ice Queen asking about the other tournament that we had yesterday. We had a 25K guarantee tournament that ended up with over 40,000 in the prize pool.
Our usual Sunday tournament just bumped up a little bit. Great turnout.
Absolutely. I don't remember what exactly first place got, but again, for just a single day of work.
Makes the call. Sean hoping he's got something. He does. He has a hand that will at least see a flop. This is an interesting dynamic because Zach has shown that he is willing to shove blind versus blind from the small blind because he did it 2 overs in a row. And now he's limped. And I imagine this is going to be a much weaker range. And no waiting, makes the straight. Has the flush draw in case Sean has the straight. Sean has just enough hand that he might look this up. I don't imagine Zach having a lot of 4s here. Let's see if he can get a call. I would like to see a very large bet here. Look, he does have missed spades, and that's what you kind of want your bet to look like here. Trying to get a 3, 5, or 6 fold, and he does go large, and Ron just releases his cards immediately. Not even thinking about it. Nice sizing by Zach, though. Really understanding what his hand looks like.
Livestream. Ice Queen. Is my livestream. And I have a hoodie that just got. Oh yeah.
Kevin now towards the bottom with Sean. Ice Queen still sitting up pretty, has chipped up a little bit now to 12.2 million.
I should say the name. And another place.
Ace Jack for Zach. I'm gonna raise it on the button. Clean diaper in the muck. 8-4, not good enough. The richer just keep getting richer. And
Wondering if we start seeing the bigger stacks get more aggressive, like you were talking about earlier.
Zach is already starting to push. I would like to see the ranges get incredibly wide, especially from Zach when Basal and Sean are in the blinds behind him. Like with Basal and Sean can't call super light because Basal is at risk.
Mm-hmm.
Kevin, it's just one of those dynamics. Like Ice Queen, I like this. Just as we were talking about opening it up light, opens the Jack 9 suited under the gun. I like it a lot. Sean folds an ace on the Basal, can't call. Kevin can't call either. This is gonna pick it up.
Very nice.
And as a chip leader, you don't mind this. You just take a bunch of the small pots. If someone resists, you give back all the money or all the chips you just collected over the last 2 or 3 hands. then you're just back to where you were before. It's not the worst case scenario, but if no one resists you, you just start chipping up, chipping and chipping up.
That's definitely when tournament poker is fun. When you're clinging on for dear life with 7 or 8 big blinds, it can feel a little stressful. But when you got some chips in front of you and a little bit of wiggle room, and you can put pressure on other people.
Basal gonna open up. Let's see if Ace Queen or Ice Queen wants to defend this. It's perfectly defendable given their stack sizes. Suited cards. She does. Don't mind this at all. They're gonna play some poker.
I feel like I haven't flopped in a while. Let's do it.
Not a great flop for either. Ace-8 still way in the lead now. Gonna see bet. Very much just gonna win this now. Like the bet sizing's very small. Quarter pot. This looks like raising chips. Ice Queen really attacking Basal here. Doing it with air. Must think he's just going to continue with a queen or better only. And he's raising too many hands now that he has chips.
Right.
On the button. Good play by Ice Queen. Very good play. A little bit of street poker.
Nothing wrong with that. Sean raising almost all of it. Cat'll clean that up and give us a count.
Ace Queen suited looks even better when you don't have very many chips. Ace-5 offsuit, probably not going to cut it. Suited, I could see maybe flicking it in.
Zachary keeps running into Sean with the borderline of hands that he might be interested in playing.
Nice little pickup.
Sean picking up just enough hand to play the blinds. Yeah.
That's all you need to do until you get a big hand.
To survive until you can thrive. Trying to give yourself an opportunity.
Big lick in the muck. There it goes.
Sad.
Ice Queen folding the Jack-4 suited on the button. I'm very surprised. Would have been a great spot to raise. Sean would have, I mean, it just would have gone full fold. He probably should have opened that up.
Yeah, we can see that it definitely would have gotten through, but
I think it's just a great spot to apply pressure. Big stack with the other big stack to your left, he cannot 3-bet you super light. Sean's with Sean behind him.
Right.
So you can kind of get away with a lot of that. He also can't make a lot of light calls because of that. Because if it goes raise call, then Sean can just dump it in.
Right.
And then you're lighting whatever you called. So it's kind of a dream scenario for the Ice Queen. Very surprised she didn't open that one up on the button. Clean diaper in the muck. Ice Queen gonna open this up with a mystery hand. Queen Jack good enough. See if Basal wants to tango with the Jack 10.
Or tangle, either one.
Yeah, what?
Tango
make-
into a tangle.
Yeah, does make the call. Pretty
Gave us
standard.
all the white chips though. Doesn't scream confidence in the hand.
Sean just wants that
If-
whole area to himself.
If y'all believe in live tells,
That's true.
I do think this leans towards the low confidence chips is a real thing.
It's a thing. You can't stake your tournament life on it necessarily,
But-
but it's information that can be useful.
Ice Queen C betting. Basal gonna have no choice but to release this. And he's actually in bad shape. Good pickup by the Ice Queen. Just continue to chip up even more and more. Really putting the pressure on. Zach with 8s. This is going to go up. And unfortunately, it seems that one side of the table seems to be leaning heavier on getting good cards. Just piles it. And just
Use the big stack if you want to tangle.
Basal with a hand that he has to reluctantly fold. Kevin just left with peanuts now. Has to decide. I mean, this would be a pure gamble.
And it can be really hard to let go of a hand though when you already have
800K invested, yeah.
Yeah.
Is it? A fourth of his stack is in the middle, effectively. Just lets it go. Good fold, though.
Poor Kevin just praying for something.
Yeah, he's just not found good spots. Kevin really in danger now. 5 big blinds. Sean with 10 big blinds. Basal slowly losing the chips he gained earlier. All going to Ice Queen is what it seems from these numbers.
Yeah, Ice Queen with
16
million, yeah.
Chipping up. Zach, yep.
Picks up an easy one. Ace 10, raise and take it.
I'd be pretty happy with that result.
Absolutely. Don't always love playing Ace 10 post flop.
That guy had one new ortho shoes.
Thank you guys so much to all our viewers. 178 people joining me and DT.
I'm glad to have y'all on this Monday evening. Nice conclusion to our $200 100K multi-flight event. If y'all couldn't make it for this one, Come on down this Wednesday as we start our $600 multi-flight, multi-day, 300K guarantee that will culminate into a live streamed final table, not pre-recorded, live streamed next Monday.
That will be a ton of fun. Can't wait to see what that lineup looks like.
Basal with 2 10s. Gonna open it up. Hope he gets a little bit of action. No dice. Pick
Do
up
you
the
want
black.
action with 10s? I don't know if I do.
At this stage, I don't care.
Yeah, true. Any premium hands.
Yeah. The only time I don't want action is when I'm raising the button with the Jack 4 of diamonds.
Definitely.
I'm sure the players are well aware of Kevin's dwindled stack now. Probably very content letting the Ice Queen and Zach do all the work. I like the shove, blind versus blind, king high. Not good enough to limp, but it's good enough to get a lot of folds.
It's like everybody froze. It's like.
I think she listened to it.
I'm supposed to study.
I said all right.
I remember the Canada winning too, the other third person.
Oh, it was like someone else.
Right. I know.
Yeah, Sean C. no longer the player in immediate danger.
It's still pretty close to the danger zone. All 3 players at the bottom really don't want to make a misstep because with everyone so close to busting. But I mean, Kevin can't survive, 2 more orbits. In 2 orbits, he's going to be all in.
Yeah, and you can see a little bit of the frustration with his card distribution here.
Every time he's had a hand that he's wanted to be really interested in. Looks like Ice Queen got caught with their hand in the cookie jar, and it's okay though. And this is what I'm talking about, where is you steal enough of these pots, you raise, they shove on you, they're just you're back to where you were, an orbit ago. It's not, you're not losing anything. But if you just continue to get away with it, then you're wearing them down.
Yeah, absolutely.
There's that beautiful trophy. Kirk almost fell.
It's heavy. It's real.
I need that right now.
There it is.
What would you put in the top of it?
Candy.
Yeah, that's what Joe said. Joe said candy.
Definitely candy. Or money. Be a decent place to stash a couple buy-ins. You gotta have it spread out.
I don't know if I'd put money in that.
You gotta have it spread out. A little bit in the house. A little under the mattress. I'm not gonna tell you guys all my hiding spots.
Janice now seems like the type of person that would have $20,000 sitting in a shoebox underneath her bed.
I am 100% that kind of person.
So check her shoe boxes first.
Yeah, I do like shoes though, so there are a lot of shoe boxes to get through.
John doing some inventory, thinking about whether or not he wants to pile it in. I do think this is very borderline because if you get called when you shove, it is not going to be by, yeah, he realized that. If he gets called, it's not going to be by worse. And we can see that it would have worked.
Right.
But you don't know that. And ace 10 is just not a great hand.
I also think that, if Ice Queen had been playing a little bit more bully ball and had been more aggressive,
I think so too.
then
he could have stuck it in there.
Yeah, may
I
have
think
considered it.
I do think she's doing a good job of being playing the big stack, but she's not raising any two, and he knows that. If she had been raising any two, it would have been like you said, a slam dunk. My chips are in the middle. I hope you don't have a hand, but he knows that she's not going super bananas. Is that going to open this up? Nines for Basal. This is good enough. Does make the call. Eights for Kevin. He has no choice. What a disaster! And the action is, and now we're gonna have two. It's gonna be a 2-versus-1 battle here.
Yeah, really unfortunate for Kevin. The first hand that he picks up is just completely dominated.
Pair two overs cannot raise.
It's only 375, so just short, 25K short of opening.
Nines hit the muck though. Basal did not win. King Queen wins the flip.
You're not gonna do anything, right? You wanna keep playing? Will you keep playing?
I was trying to call you.
Do you wanna fight the number?
A small blind, right?
No?
Yeah, please.
I mean, it's okay.
I mean, it benefits a small size. But, I mean, I'll be for taking some money.
Kevin, unfortunately, eliminated in 5th place. Does get $7,700 for his troubles. Not the worst feeling, but I mean, now we're getting into 5 figures for the pays. I mean, and that's a significant pay jump now to $10,500. An even bigger pay jump. They're starting to talk about deals.
And a king on the turn.
Kevin can't be disappointed in how he played, just a little disappointed in the card distribution.
If there is not, that is a textbook example for Kevin doing nothing wrong and then just getting blasted by the deck. And that's a good example of poker, just in a nutshell. You can do everything that you were supposed to do and still bust out. And good on him. Really gave it a try. Good run, too. Sean just rips it. Don't mind the rip with nines under the gun. No one's home.
We're at the final 4.
Chat, who do y'all want to win out of these fine group of people? We already know Ice Queen's got some fans in the chat. Any fans for anyone else? Owen's probably gone since his dad's gone.
Yeah.
I love four-handed poker.
I do too. I like any opportunity that you can really play in battle and, like you said, actually play poker. When you're four-handed, you're forced into the action.
Yeah. No, my hand finally got dealt and gets ripped on. I had to fold the 10-7. Sean, I like the show first time. I think after the last limped pot they played together, he realized that the limping and raising ranges were vastly different. I don't think Zach is going to be limping a lot of strong hands there.
Yeah.
Based on the way he's been playing, I think he's doing a lot of raising.
Yeah, some players opt for the tricky limping strategy.
Yeah,
so,
limp everything.
Yeah, so Sean's been feeling him out now. We're a couple hours into this final table, so if he hadn't already played with Zachary, he's now gotten a better picture of the strategy.
Don't get in trouble.
Jedi Master Ted just wants the winner to be the one who has all the chips, and that's that's a good quality to have in a tournament winner, is the one who has everything. Sean ripping the ace king off, blind versus blind. And we have a call. Oh, yeah.
Wow.
Blind versus blind, this is gonna happen. That's a sweat flop. Always good to have a little bit of a sweat.
Never easy.
It's indeed never easy.
Saul looking for a king or an 8.
Plain 6 of diamonds. Basal, just like that, will be eliminated in 4th place and will take home $10,490.
Oh.
Pretty good. Yeah, and looks like they're going to talk numbers now.
Things change so quickly.
I don't. It's not hard. I mean, this is where talking numbers becomes more reasonable. Sean's got 11.2. I believe Zach has like 14 or 15 or something like that, and Ice Queen's got something like that too, 16 or 17.
Right.
So the stacks are getting very close. The blinds are getting very big. Yeah, 11.2, 14, 14.5, 14.1. I mean, the stacks are close enough. This is anyone's game.
Yes, very close.
So a deal might be negotiations here.
Right. And if we didn't go up to 500 already, I think we will soon.
Yeah, it might be very soon.
I don't know if we want to spoil it.
Counting right now is just not even.
They do work out a little something here, but we are not done with the poker action, so don't leave. Stay with us, because now, three-handed, we're definitely going to see cards flying around.
I do think one of the good things about deals when they're made at this stage is that it helps players become more comfortable in playing.
Right.
Whereas if no deal is made, then you have that inherent fear, oh man, I'm going to lose out on this extra $5,000 or $10,000 or whatever it is. But when a deal's made, the number's just so much smaller. You get that extra cushion and comfort.
Right.
Right, so that's 12.
Like you said, I mean, once you get to a certain point, the variance is just so high that I like the idea of playing for something, playing for the win, but, not letting the variance affect the money.
I mean, if we look at the difference between third and first place, that's $19,000 almost.
Yeah.
I mean, would you be happy playing effectively a $19,000 sit and go?
No, I think we'll share. I like sharing is caring. Let's all get a piece and go home happy.
For $1,900 spin and go rather, not even a sit and go, just a.
Yeah, really a spin and go, not enough blinds to. But we do. Once they come to a decision, we do have plenty of action for you. Has anybody ever done anything that just like immediately made you say like no chop, like no deal, like no nothing?
I mean, if someone was being rude to me the entire time, I'd probably no sir. And if they beat me, they beat me. But everyone's nice. I'm not gonna. In a spot like this, I wouldn't be the one to say no. I feel like the spot to say no is when you have when you think you have a significant edge over the competition and you can really push that edge.
Right.
But like we were saying, the blinds are so high. Sean's got 30 big blinds. Ice Queen's got almost like 35 big blinds. Zach's got 36 big blinds. Once blinds increase 2 more times, you're flipping. You're just flipping.
think I did the adjustment on that.
I think this is the chip stack that they're at right now has tons of play to it.
Yeah, there's definitely still a lot of action that they can
I'm gonna give the
that they
actual
can work
numbers.
through and battle over.
Now, if we round to the nearest $5, just so you guys know. But if you guys agree, you're gonna throw one chip into the middle of your table if you agree. If not, then we'll just continue on, okay? Just so you know, you only get one stoppage of the clock.
Right.
You can look again, but the clock keeps running, okay? This is the only time that you can stop though, right there on the clock. So I'm gonna start around the table this way. So I have 23,948. I have 24,337 and 22,503. Okay, so if you agree, you throw one chip into the middle.
That's pretty even.
Yeah.
I really want to play for the trophy. I'm just gonna tell you. I really want to play for the trophy. I don't mind shopping money, but I want to play for the trophy.
So you wanna do you wanna put the money and you wanna fight for the
Yeah.
trophy?
Can you
Like
pull
how
like
much?
5,000
So
off?
can you write it down?
And then do it, and then leave 5,000 for the winner and play it out.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like you can write it down.
I'm good with that.
Okay, so let me do it this way then.
Whatever the total number is, pull 5,000 out and then readjust it and then play for the trophy. And the
So we lock in and then we put like
5,000.
5,000?
Leave 5,000 on.
I mean, this is a lot of money they're trying to negotiate with. I
Maybe
mean,
I'll make about.
for a $200 entry tournament,
Can you write it down? Let's
an extra $5,000 is
5,000
a big chunk of change to try and
let's do the numbers
lock up.
Yeah, huge. And like you said, with this even chop number, the lowest number being 22, the highest number being about 24, I would be happy with that for a $200 buy-in for sure. And just cut down some of the variance. And like Ice Queen saying, I you want to feel like you won, right? So
His was 22,500.
just an opportunity to continue to keep playing. There's something to be said. One reason why some people don't like chopping is because, you might get in a situation where you have to play it out. Somebody isn't willing to chop and you want to have some experience in those positions late in tournaments.
Watch back. People quit texting me.
We can do like this. So we put 2,000, 2,000, 2,000. I'll play for the trophy. So 6,000.
Yeah, so we're all still making 20, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I like it. Okay.
So
That's what we're gonna do.
so whoever win the
So pay off everybody's number and then
Yeah.
play it out from there.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, it makes sense. I mean, I understand, but then you just have to readjust the number back, whoever wins and stuff to get it. But
so minus 2,000, 2,000, 2,000.
Whatever numbers you just gave for all of us,
Yeah.
pull 2 pay off at each one of us, and then
Yeah.
That is the deal they ultimately decide upon. And
so you want
I'm just going to go ahead and show you all the numbers,
right now, just take
not to interrupt, but these are the adjusted numbers.
We're all getting whatever.
Third place will now take home 20,505. Second will take home 22,335, and first will take 27,950. So with those adjusted numbers, third place, instead of leaving with 15 grand, will now leave here with at least 20.
Good job.
And that's a pretty good deal. You're still playing for 8K, an 8K difference between first and third
Yeah, securing the 5K with
with the deal.
with the deal. That's a great result for all these players. So congratulations to everybody that's made it this far.
do a small blind or a big blind last hand. Go small versus big.
So we're fine.
It's but that is the deal they ultimately make, and then we will watch it play out until
Like the one guy who
we
likes
have
to
a
put
winner.
all the white chips in.
I'm excited. Three-handed or when it gets a heads up can be very fun to watch. So all three of these players have shown really solid play throughout the final table. So I think it's going to be good.
Super happy.
Nice job, guys.
Thank you.
Ice Queen's happy.
I'd be happy too. I'd make $20,000 in 3 days.
My goodness. I would be on a flight the next day.
Where to?
I don't know. I'd probably go to like Japan or South America or like somewhere really cool.
You want 250, 500, okay?
Japan's good. I've never been to South America. Gina, it is not over. They just. I'll show the numbers again. These are the adjusted numbers they will be playing for. These last three, where third place will get $20,505, second will get $22,335, and first will take home $27,950. They just shuffled it around so it made sure everyone walks away with at least 20 grand, and then played for a little bit plus a trophy, and everyone was happy with these numbers. And like I said earlier, this is going to take kind of a little bit of weight off of their shoulders. And now we get to play. Three-handed play, 4-deuce, 20 grand Richard Sean's going to fold. Not going to get out of line. I imagine. I like what. Not to talk about other tournaments, but there was a tournament in Houston where the final table heads-up was resolved in a fun fashion. The players made a deal, and the winner of the tournament was decided by a best-of-3 PLO sweat.
Which is so Houston.
And
that's
yeah,
like,
that's so Houston, and I like that. That one was. That's a great way to do it.
Yeah, I happen to know both of the players that chopped that tournament decently well, and they have a lot of mutual respect for each other's game. I think their chip stacks
were close, very close.
Yeah.
And they just said, "Why not?" And they did it. It's cool. Yeah, Mitchell. I think this is a good. I think this was a good result. Everyone taking home 20K, still playing for an $8,000 prize difference. It's not like they left a $500 difference or something. They didn't even chop it. They left enough up top to play for, that plus the trophy, to where they should still be interested in playing their absolute best.
Absolutely, I agree.
He didn't play any hands.
I feel like they're talking about poor Kevin.
Kevin, it's not his fault. As y'all saw and we saw, Gina, they will indeed play it down to one person standing for remaining seating. I don't know, however you want to look at it. One person left. Yeah, but they just said because they were so the ICM that was calculated had third place getting like $21,000. So they decided as a group collectively that everyone should walk away with at least 20K, even though third place's original prize payout was $15,000. So from there, they negotiated. That's what they negotiated, was the prize payouts that I mentioned.
Yeah, and the 6K just kind of ended up coming evenly 2K across the board. So everything was calculated based on ICM, which if you've played a lot of tournaments, does end up favoring the short stacks, typically.
Hope everyone joining us is having a fantastic evening so far. Ready for some nice three-handed poker till we get a winner, a champion for this tournament.
Too much poker.
I mean, one of the things about tournaments like these is, even though all three of these players are, seasoned tournament poker players, is they're not high stakes tournament poker players. These aren't people who are like, I find it very rarely where a player's like, no, $8,000 doesn't matter.
Right.
So this amount that they settled on is still plenty enough for them to battle for. Ice Queen with a mystery ace, which we can see now is the best hand. I mean, yeah, but that's very close to what they did. You're basically just shaving one off of first and second and putting it at third.
Yeah. No. Yeah.
They just made it's more like they shaved two off of second, but still, It's
Yeah.
very close to what
And-
they did.
And that would highly advantage second so much, right?
Yeah,
Like, what was it? 5 off of first, basically going directly to second, really.
Yeah, because as you can see, based on the numbers they did choose, it makes it so that first still has that big importance to it.
Right.
Jack 3 suited on the button. Sean, imagine going to be opening this. Does open it up. Oh.
Uh-oh. Got a battle of the jacks here, and another one on the flop. We'll keep both players interested in this hand. Sean betting just a little bit over half the pot here. As we've said, it's hard to make a pair, especially three-handed. Zachary deciding what he wants to do. He goes all in. He goes big and gets called. Both players with the jack. And Sean dominated here, needing either a 3 or maybe a 6 or a 9. Giving both players 2 pair and hoping just for the 3 now. Doesn't get there. And Sean, not too long after making this deal, eliminated, leaving just Ice Queen and Zachary to fight for this title and the beautiful Atlas trophy that comes with it. It was a great run for Sean. He's having a great poker week. Hope that he'll be able to celebrate a 20K victory, have some fun, and come back this weekend for the main event. Heads up action now. It's uncharted territory for a lot of poker players that don't get the opportunity to only play heads up. I personally think it's a great fun way to play the game. And like DT was saying earlier, it's a way to almost instantly become a crusher. I mean, when you focus on situations where the ranges are completely wide open, it makes playing the narrowed ranges when you get to a full ring table and you have players raising from certain positions, makes it feel easier. Ace high and king high here. Another club could have been very interesting. Zachary taking the conservative line, checking the king high flush draw, and Ice Queen using the ace of clubs in her hand as a bullet. The club comes on the river, completing Zachary's flush. Ice Queen not left with a lot of hand here. So probably unable to call a very large sized bet here. And Ice Queen quickly folds. Not at all curious with Ace High.
This is what I'm excited for. Heads up play.
It's so fun, right?
In my opinion, heads up tournament play poker is the truest form of poker. You have to do so many things that you don't have to do in full ring poker. You just have to play. You actually have to play. Ice Queen with kings here. Zach's hand a little too weak to continue. Yeah. Queen 5 offsuit. Queen 5 suited, he could consider taking a flop. With maybe not with her stack size, but yeah, Queen 5 offsuit, just not a hand you want to really get involved with versus 3-bet.
Yeah, lucky in that spot that it wasn't suited because, like you said, it may have enticed him into a dangerous situation versus those kings. These two have been next to each other throughout the whole final table.
I always find it interesting when people play heads up, and they were sitting next to because they're still in the 2 and the 3.
Exactly.
And if I were in either of their seats, I would just move a little bit over, so it'd be more across, not next. And I think it kind of makes it easier for the viewers.
Yeah, you can look right at both of them. But it's also, once you get seated and comfortable, I don't like moving my chips, especially with these mountains of chips that they have now.
I'm not saying that the chips need to move. You could leave the chips next there. Like if Ice Queen took the 1 seat, then she could still leave the... and it looks like these players are going with a raise the button strategy, where you're just raising most everything. That's pretty common nowadays.
Yeah.
It's going to be lots of raise button, defend big blind. 9-5 at the bottom. We're going to start betting this one.
Definitely different than our Trailblazer final table that I think we saw quite a bit of together. Those players kind of electing to choose to limp more
the button,
often.
yeah. I like the raise the button more position, as much as people say it doesn't matter in poker. Like, it matters.
Absolutely.
As the button, you control what the other player gets to see the last card for free, for more, for everything, for the price that they set. Ice Queen gonna go for a little bit of value on the river. 9-5 is just not gonna cut it. On the deuce turn, I think the 9-5 could have taken another bet. Trying to really target the 7s, the 4s. There's some straight draws and flush draws that you can try and get to fold as well. A lot of the kings aren't going to be very strong kings too, so it's possible you could have just sized up on the turn. And I think, obviously being results oriented, it would have worked. But I mean, if Ice Queen had a hand like the King 3 offsuit, it's going to put a ton of pressure on that hand. Are you going to risk your tournament life on that?
Doesn't sound great when you say it like that, but no gamble, no future, they say.
Yep. Raise from the button. Like it. Jack 3. Zach had an 8, so I imagine the other one was a deuce 3 or 4. Really the only hands that contain an 8 that you would be folding. All the other hands would be calling.
Not what you want to see in the big blind.
Nope. Five four suited, perfectly good raising hand. Ice Queen just mucking. Ice Queen's turn with the 8-3. And we're not defending that one. Because it's a joke because there are players who don't understand it that say when you play poker with them, they're like, position isn't everything. Oh, he's just raising his button. Because they don't understand the positioning doesn't matter. And what we were saying is it absolutely does. You're right, the statistics on it are ridiculous.
Some of us like to play poker based on feels, though. So
yeah, I feel like having position.
Yeah. I mean, if I feel like I can never win with pocket jacks and I just go all in for 300 big blinds, that's just how I feel.
I like pocket jacks.
I can be convinced to like any 2 cards in the right situation.
Good flop for Zach. Not a bad flop for Ice Queen with the gut shot. Imagine dynamic board, bigger bet. That's what it is. Zach, just top pair, gonna have to make just the call. Can't really raise for value with a 4 as our kicker here. We can start raising for value on this turn, though. Is not the ace of diamonds, it is the 4 of clubs. Ice Queen with the jack of clubs can maybe go for some bluffs on club rivers. She's going to keep barreling. I like this. Put a lot of pressure on the 10x, 7x's, spades, and straight draws. Zach's hand's most certainly strong enough for a raise, and I imagine he's going to go for one. The question is the amount all of it? And I think it is. Very wet board. Want to make sure we get the max, yeah.
As predicted.
And Ice Queen going to save a little bit of face here and then fold. The gut shot, not nearly worth risking our tournament life. In these spots, I often like to count in my head. When I'm trying to save face, fold, I just count to like 20 seconds or 30 seconds. Just.
Okay, I was about to say, what's the number? You have a lucky number that you count to?
No, it's whatever I feel is appropriate for the spot. In spots where it doesn't matter, I'll muck immediately. But for something like this, you want to make sure that it doesn't look like you were stabbing with nothing.
Still nothing.
Sevens on the button, a welcome sight. Ice Queen, only 20 big blinds deep now. Queen 10 not strong enough for a 3-bet, but certainly strong enough for a call. Gonna flick in the call. And just flops the nuts. Oh, we should have 3-bet this.
Yeah, right. Daryl, why didn't you tell us you were going to give us the nuts?
A 7 would be disaster. I would like to see Ice Queen continue to check this. This board's just not good for her. Zach's just got too much showdown value to stab here. At this point, we got to bet. What are we targeting? We're targeting a jack. We're targeting a 9. We're targeting an ace that checks back the turn. So a hand like ace 4, ace 5. So we want to bet pretty large. I'm not afraid of any full houses here or quads. All of those hands would have started betting at some point in time. So I like this over bet by ace queen. I think this is a great bet. And Zach not having a diamond may be enough for him to look this up. He does. He looks it up. Good bet by ice queen. Gets called. Gets the overbet called. Great pickup. Great bet. Well played. Well played.
I can't hear you. I hear that.
Nice.
I said, y'all let me verify and make sure the bet was correct. Yeah, you're fine. No, you get nothing. No, you ain't doing nothing wrong. So that's good.
No, I understand that. Put my blind over here. Here, put the button over here too so you can't be blind.
Have you played a lot of heads up in your time?
I love heads up. Not tournament poker. I like heads up cash. I have very little tournament heads up experience because I don't play tournaments. I don't make final tables.
Yeah. Okay. Fair enough.
But I think cash game heads up is very cool.
My friend that originally taught me how to play poker, we kind of just like Ice Cream was talking about with her son and Walter with Owen, you know, just playing a little bit at home. But I got really into it really quickly, so wanting to play all the time, just having a deck of cards at the house, we actually I learned a lot.
What to say? Damn. Don't worry, don't worry.
I'm trying to talk myself into playing that terrible. It's really. It's so bad.
Usually the ones that let go.
Last call for alcohol. Did you want another still?
Good 3-bet. Pick it up. I'm curious to see how the players will adjust their play, heads up play, because one of the big things in heads up play is making adjustments. If you think it's once you realize that they're just going to raise every single button, you can start 3-betting super light. Then once the button realizes that you're just 3-betting super light, you can readjust your opening range and then start 4-betting light. It becomes this whole all sorts of meta thing.
I was just about to use that word. The metagaming commences once we get a little bit deeper into this heads-up battle.
Yeah, so Ice Queen now, see, this is a hand that's strong enough to 3-bet if you know that Zach is going to be, and she does. She 3-bets it. I like it.
Yeah.
And I don't think this is a serial. I think this is for value. You know that Zach's opening basically any 2 cards from the button. I do think King 7 suited is a little too weak or a little too strong to fold.
Right.
We're gonna take a flop in position. A king would be disastrous. board, and then bet sizings on the flop are gonna vary. Ice Queen just gonna check the king high. I would like to see Zach take a stab here on the button.
It looks like he's going to.
Bet maybe a third pot. Just choose the same sizing with all of our hands. Yep, and he does. 2 million, a third pot indeed. It's gonna put Ice Queen in quite a predicament. Just gives it up. Well played by Zach. And they're playing. I would like to have seen Ice Queen c-bet that flop. I think it's still a great flop for you.
Yeah.
Even though you don't have a pair or an immediate draw, you can bet all the Broadway cards. As a jack gives you a pair, king gives you a pair, an ace gives you the straight draw plus the illusion of a pair. A 10 gives you the straight draw plus overs. So plenty of opportunity for barrels. And there are tons of hands that you just kind of don't want to, like he had, where once you give over the betting initiative, he can just blast.
Right. It's suited.
I mean, this is pretty standard. Mystery 8 versus 9-3, suited. Zach gonna make a call. Leads me to believe the other card in his hand is a 10 or a 6. It could be the ace of clubs too. It's another one, or any ace. Ice Queen gonna check back the paired board. River's a pair.
Could be the best hand.
I think after we check back turn, we have to call this with the pair of threes. And she does. Quickly makes the call. Picks it up.
Rightfully not willing to lay down a pair there. As you said. Didn't really feel like Zachary had a lot, so.
It's just one of those things where when we check back the turn and we make a pair on the river, we don't have a lot of pairs as played.
Right.
So we beat some of the hands he's value betting. He might be betting a 2 for value.
Queen Jack, nice Broadway hand for Zachary.
Always good to look at Broadways. Another Broadway. These hands will collide. Domination, rotation. Ice Queen looking to check call this flop. No, she's just going to lead right out. It's very unusual. You don't see a lot of this out in full ring, but you see a lot of out of flow play in heads up because there's more room for it.
Right.
Most likely, the bet is to make sure that a hand like King Jack, King Queen, Queen Jack doesn't check back the flop and realize it's equity for free. Ace is certainly not folding, and she knows that. Kings, Queens, Jacks certainly not folding. Worst 10's not folding. But another issue is like letting a pocket pair like pocket 9s just hit a set for free.
Right.
Because there are a ton of hands that wouldn't c-bet the flop that could catch up. King 5 suited, turn a king, those types of things. So. Blackjack hand, the best hand right now.
Major break for both players.
Both players hit the turn big time. Ice Queen with the 4 of clubs redraw. Most likely going to be a chop pot if they get to showdown. And that's what this will be if someone doesn't outright win it.
That's where you can use the no limit part of this game.
I don't think this is a
But that
spot
would
where
no, you would not in
Yeah.
this spot. Not in this spot.
Yeah, chopping it up.
I
Look,
think we
it's
go to
just
showdown and chop.
look, small bet in the call. I think $500,000 or 500 dollar 500,000 chip bet in the call. Ice Queen chipping up. She's kind of had a roller coaster heads up match so far, up and down and up and down, and that's the way heads up's going to be until there's some sort of big hand.
Yeah, all it takes is the right kind of holdings.
Two hands that interact with each other pretty well.
Another nice Broadway hand for Zachary.
Always heads up, always a welcome sight to look at Broadways on the button. I'm also curious to see if the raise sizings will change. I like this 3-bet. And Zach, once again, with a hand that's a little too strong to fold, we're always going to be at least calling here. We could entertain other options if we wanted to. But this hand's too strong to fold heads up here. Ice Queen looking for a little bit of help. And a little bit of a disguised hand if she does connect, and she does. Connects top pair and a gut shot. I'm curious to see what sizing she chooses. Big sizing, 2/3 pot, just takes it. Well played. Chipping up again. Now they're close to even.
Yeah, like you said, the swings they come quickly, especially because we're basically sitting on around 25 blinds each here. Or I guess, no, yeah, a little bit more. 40 really.
I mean, 40 big blinds heads up is a ton.
Yeah.
As you can see there, min raising. So you have a ton of play. Ice Queen with the real beautiful Queen Jack of lots of Broadways for the button here. Gonna at least somehow see a flop unless the word's all in or declared pre-flop.
Yeah, I'm definitely happy to fight with that one.
Queen 9 gonna make the call. A queen would be disastrous for Zach.
Players' hands stepping all over each other here so far.
I mean, this is what you need as a viewer. A gut shots for Zach, and Queen Jack the best hand, and open-ended and backdoor clubs. Just checks it through. Very surprised at that. This is a board I would imagine Queen Jack would be betting pretty frequently.
Yeah, I would like to see that there, but
Zach, I like taking the initiative. Gonna bet his gut shot. Zach's gonna really have to bet big on this turn, and I think when Ice Queen checks back flop, her hand range is capped. She's gonna have lots of really bad pairs, and I like this sizing. Goes big and just wins it outright.
very nice. Both players playing some good poker.
Very surprised to see Ice Queen check back that flop.
Yeah, that's it.
Queen 6 on the button. Gonna come in for a raise. King 9 suited, gonna just call. Don't mind this.
Yeah, really pretty hand.
Queen 6 out flops. See if he can get any value out of this. There's no diamond, so I don't think Ice Queen's really gonna try and put a ton of more chips in. He does check back top pair. Ace not something he should be worried about a whole lot. I do think he should bet this card. Try and get some value from a 7 or a 4.
He bets 1.2.
I wonder if Ice Queen is thinking about getting a little out of line here with her hand. Maybe a check raise. Nope, just puts it in the muck.
I think she was thinking about it, but quickly decided against it. Too dangerous.
Yeah, Phony Turkison is it's a good payout. The prize is a little different. Let me show y'all if y'all just joined us. They agreed to a deal. This is what they agreed to when they were three-handed. Third place walks away with at least 20,505. Second 22,335 and first 27,950. Everyone walking home with at least 20 grand before third place got 15. They just reshuffled the numbers around a little bit. I think that's a pretty good deal. They were all pretty close in chip stacks. The blind levels were pretty low.
I was feeling weak differently in my head. It's like, damn, that was old.
Old and weak.
Old and weak.
Yeah, I imagine we're going to see every hand that is not 8 deuce or 8-3 raised on the button. Zach got a weak ace. And this is a hand you can consider, yeah. This is very small sizing too.
Makes it almost feel more nutted.
Oh, it was 3.5. I thought I heard 2.5. 3.5 is fine. I thought he said 2.5. The 2.5 with that, I'd imagine. So he went a little bit larger than 3x, which I think is fine.
We both played the same play.
I thought he was going to go a little bit larger. You
Right.
want the extra fold equity.
Yeah, 100% with the worst ace you can have.
I gambled the last hand before break and busted 3-bot max late reg, and I wasn't gonna play for night if I busted.
I don't know. We'll deal this last hand after. Same level with last hand. This level.
I'd like to take the restroom and I don't know if I'm gonna
Yeah, I just want to go. I just want to go to the bathroom.
Alright, we'll cut it down to 5 minutes.
This is the last hand before break.
Oh, there's no more. Yeah. My bad. Sorry. You're right.
The players will be taking a 5-minute break after this to use the restroom, kind of freshen up a little bit. You know, they've been sitting at the table for a hot second playing.
It is crazy how long you can sit when you got cards in front of you and you realize that you haven't gotten up for 5 hours.
5, that's a rookie number. You're being very generous with the number you said there. Because you know that number is way more for some of these players.
Oh yeah, 100%. One of my favorite players has a record. He's a regular here also, but he was clocked in to a cash game for 36 hours. And he's not young.
Yeah,
He's in his 70s.
I know who this individual is.
You know what I'm talking about.
I may have dealt a heads up to this man at 7 in the morning. He's just playing heads up 1-2 versus another player. They were just chatting, playing heads up. He's like, I just want to play while I have the time. How long have you been here? Oh, sometime the day before yesterday. What? Yeah.
The man is a tank.
I want to take some of these down.
I mean, if I can play poker like that when I'm his age, I'll be blessed.
Yeah, and he There's a couple Miller Lights in during that time too.
A
so,
couple, yes.
Yeah.
We'll say a couple.
Yeah. So I mean, it must be the stuff of champions that keeps him going and going.
There's one on the table.
Looks like they're coloring off the 5Ks, or 25Ks. They're coloring off the 25Ks, putting only 100Ks and 500Ks in play, making it a lot easier to do the betting now. Good job by our tournament staff this weekend. Good little shout out to all the dealers and tournament staff that helped make this event run so smoothly. Run very well. Zach with a little almost 2-to-1 chip or 3-to-1 chip advantage over Ice Queen. She battled back from the beginning to that to almost even, but cards haven't quite fallen her way. Hasn't quite worked out, but you know there's still plenty of room to play for. They're going to be coming back to 300, 600, 600. I mean, they're still legal with 20 big blinds. 19 big blinds. She does. She will need some help though.
You want to really take him down, don't you? 306.
Hope everyone is enjoying this tournament stream. I know normally the streams don't last as long, but it's been a great time here watching them play.
You're talking about that's 10 million, 15 million.
Hope y'all are gonna come join us for our main event, which starts Wednesday. $600. If not, we have plenty of other events for y'all to join in on. I believe all of our mixed stuff is happening this week. I know tomorrow we have a double board pillow bomb pot tournament. I believe Wednesday is our dealer's choice. Thursday is our triple. Friday is our PLO. So it should be a good time.
Good. So just out of curiosity, once you read me off those numbers, because I got to match my total chip count.
29.7.
29,070,000, right? Plus, what's her count?
Yeah. 8.1. It's off.
I wonder if either player will be getting information from outside, because you know rails typically in these spots help players make real-time adjustments to the other player's plays. Either of these players getting a little bit of help to see if that'll change up how the play is going.
That's 9 points. It's 9.5. It's 10. It's 10,100,000.
2, 4, 6, 7, 5, 8, 5, 9, 5, 10, 10 more.
10,100,000.
10,100,000. We're good now.
Verifying the chip counts.
After the color down. Color up. I always say color down, I meant color up.
Yeah, you definitely don't want to color down. We need.
I kind of want to color down. I want to see the next time I play Well, actually, I don't think the cage will let me buy 300 in white chips. It might.
Oh yeah, we definitely do because we have to the mixed game
Oh, not for mixed. I just want to sit in a 1-2 game.
with all white chips.
Yeah. There was an episode of Poker Night in America where Brad Garrett
Say I'm sorry, I was busy.
from I think Seinfeld, yeah, he bought in for $10,000 with all red chips
Wow.
and then got stacked
Oh my gosh.
and then just whoosh.
See,
The poor player he was against was stacking for years.
Steve, you like how quick I ate
Obviously,
my words?
once those chips were back in Iraq, they were immediately taken off the table. That's a lot of red chips, people.
Yeah, that's. I don't feel like doing the math right now, but it's a lot.
20 racks of red.
Yeah.
Just 20 racks.
You have to. I mean, that's at least like 3 trips for me.
I don't know. I wonder if the chip runner that brought those to him got a tip for that.
I mean, you would
Tip.
have to. You'd have to hope. I'm always impressed by seeing our tournament floors. They work very hard, and I mean, these tournaments compared to our regular Friday bonanza is probably actually easier for them, just because there's people everywhere on those Fridays.
Looks like we'll be resuming play very shortly.
This guy's played really well the time I've played with him for sure.
Nice compliment there.
Players very respectful of each other's games. This is nice. Usually when it gets heads up, it's very rare, even in like the big tournaments where players are super not friendly. Like there's always some sort of small banter or something. It's even, and every now and then you get the dead silent, nothing.
Yeah, I mean, you want to be focused on the tournament, and it's not like, you know, again, we are still playing for the 6K pay jump, so, you know, that's real money. But I think, I mean, if you can't be happy making at least 20K off a $200 buy-in, like, you know, I'm pretty happy to be in this situation.
Shoot, if I was heads up, I'd be drinking.
I think, no, I was about to say,
He's
is that one?
enjoying
No,
beer.
that's
He's got a beer.
Oh, he does? Okay, I thought I saw a
He
Stella.
he had a Stella earlier.
I would be channeling the. I think I would be doing the Sunny special
What was
at the
that?
final table. A michelada with blue moon.
Oh my god.
It's delicious.
I don't like micheladas normally, so that I don't see how the circumstances would change my opinion on micheladas.
I mean, the blue moon is actually like really smooth in it and gives it like a little bit of sweetness, that like citrusy flavor. It's actually good, but you must not like the tomato.
No, it's all I don't like the tomato at all. I don't.
Okay.
Oh, we have a collision here. Is Ice Queen limped the button and Zach jams Jack 10 clubs. I like this play by Zach. I think based on our line, we're gonna we might have to call this off. Our hand our hand for our limping range from the button, as opposed to raising or shoving. This is just one of the strongest hands we're gonna limp. I don't imagine we're gonna limp a lot of big hands as traps. Maybe she may limp a hand like Ace 10. She lets it go. I'm very shocked.
I think Zachary was actually the button and open jammed it. I don't know. I think our
No, the graphics were right. Zach's posting the blinds now, so
okay.
so she limp folded. That's a big pickup by Zach.
Yeah, a hand that could have been a major collision. Line's at 3, 6, and 6 now.
First time heads up. Penalty. Raise to 1.2 million.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah, I think it. Yeah,
I think she was in the big blind and it got ripped on her. Actually, that makes me more inclined to want to
Want to
call.
call? Yeah,
3 checks.
me as well.
King high versus a gutter. Just gonna check back. King high still the best hand.
3 bets. 1.2 million. Fold.
Zach picking it up. Ice Queen gonna need some help to rally back. The card's really not falling in her favor right now.
The truth's coming. It's coming.
I thought you said you were scumming.
So the moment of truth is coming.
Taking this thing. 3 goes all in. Fold.
Zachary.
That's all
aggressive
of it.
on the
Just
button.
pushing it. See if he can close this out. I like the shove with the king 5. Much better than an open raise.
Putting a lot of pressure here.
Ice Queen's just going to be all in this hand. 4s, yeah. 4 is just too good to... this is not a call.
I think if he saw the cards face up again, knowing that he had 2 overs.
10-6 suit, well, I mean... Of course, if you see that you're racing with the 10-6 offsuit, then you'd call, but...
Now it's time to get up.
And this will go in there. I think all in is the only choice. You want to just keep the max pressure on.
Yeah,
If
I
we're
mean,
shoving the king 5 off, we need to shove the ace jack off.
I would agree.
68.
Not a shove.
They're shooting 6.8 million.
Oh, I think it was an effective shove. but-
Effective shove,
It
yeah.
really was. It's like, right?
It's never a good feeling when they're counting your chips before the bet.
Rebel, hope to see you down here. Love to have you come down and play. Join us for the 300K guarantee main event. Tons of flights for you to come.
3, assuming 2 goes all in.
We're only going to recognize you if you have a Santa hat on, though.
And you're dressed like a cat. 9-8 off, not good enough. I think we've gotten to the point where it's just gonna be back and forth until there's someone gets chipped down or 2 hands collide. I was still very surprised that the Jack 10 of clubs and the Ace 7 of diamonds did not see a collision.
Yeah, that could have been a big one.
Jack 4, I imagine we're just gonna muck this. I don't.
3 raises.
Looks like he's gonna min raise it. Doesn't exactly want to jam.
2 calls, 1
Ice Queen gonna make the call with 10 deuce. Shout out to Doyle.
RIP. Not much for either player, but they don't really have much to begin with.
2 checks.
This is gonna be who wants it most.
God,
3
really?
checks. 2 checks.
I think Zach should be betting this turn.
I was just about to say, I think
I don't
delayed
like-
C bet and take it.
Yeah. I would have liked a little bit bigger. Just to make sure that a 7 doesn't get a great price.
That's what she said.
Yeah. Who did I get the other day with it? That's what she said joke. I was dealing. Oh, I know who I got. I got Tim really good. Oh, man, what were the exact words?
And a call.
Mitchell, that's a pretty.
Not really.
It's a pretty common, yeah, a pretty common school of thought is just 3-betting the stone bottom of range. It happened a couple of years ago where people just started doing that. I wouldn't have minded that either. So now we have a collision. Queen high. Ice Queen needs it. Now she just needs to dodge an ace or running clubs. Ace and an ace alone be the only card that Zach can hit to. And with that, Ice Queen will double up.
Sorry, 3 here. That's how tired. It's like, wait, 3 8s? No, it's 2 9s, 2 8s.
5.6 million.
Back to where she almost was before the break. Still a lot of work to do, but that's a start. Not quite out of the danger zone yet.
See you tomorrow if I'm call early or whatever.
Yeah, you will. And I know she's talking about when she had ace-7 of diamonds.
Right.
Too.
Yeah. Thinking if that should have been the hand.
I'll probably have to let her know. I know she's with that. She's probably watching.
I'm pretty sure she's watching.
Zach's gonna open the button up, and big hand for Ice Queen. Will she set the trap, or will she go for a big 3-bet?
Raise to full main.
No slow play here. That's good enough to take it. Still chipping up. That's all that matters.
Zach, just be careful with your verbiage. You said 12.
Yes, players, for those of y'all that play a lot of tournaments, be very careful with your verbiage. Don't say 12 and then just leave it up to us to decide. Be very clear and concise. Say 12 million, 12,000, 1,200. Do not just say 12. Ice Queen raising it up to 3x. Zach's got a hand that he should see a flop with some reasonable amount of time. Does decide to. We're going to have some fireworks here as we have open ender and overpair.
And that is action.
Yeah, this action. I think all the money is going to get in here. I imagine Zach, based on this, might just check raise and put it all in. Yeah.
As predicted.
Yeah, and you're really just trying. You know when you're called, you're behind, but when you're, if you get ace, you know ace jack high to fold, it's a huge win. And Ice Queen, 3-1 favorite. Good turn. See if we can get a good river. That's a good river. A nice double up. Now the tables have turned, or the turns have tabled, as people keep saying to me.
Yeah, it's now Ice Queen should be in the chip lead.
Yep, 2-1 favorite now for her. Big double up. See if she can keep this momentum going. Kings followed by jacks.
If any of you guys are coming in from out of town to play this PokerAtlas Tour main event, let us know. We'd love to meet you and welcome you to Houston. I had somebody from out of town ask me about steak places. Do you have a favorite, a recommendation for the people if they're coming into town?
Oh boy, I love this question. I'm a huge steak person. It depends on budget. Taste of Texas, if you've never been to Taste of Texas before, always a great spot. Great owners, great atmosphere, great food. Price range is very good for what you get. I'm a huge fan of Steak 48.
Okay.
It's my favorite steak restaurant in Houston. always have a great meal, always have great service, but it's a little pricier.
Yes, definitely on the pricey end. I'm super glad. I forgot about Steak 48, but I did recommend them Taste of Texas, especially like you said, if you're out of town, the atmosphere. It's like a little museum in there.
Yeah, it's considered I believe it's considered a Houston landmark now.
We got K Scott coming in from Nacogdoches. A close neighbor, but still a little bit of a drive, so we definitely appreciate that. Look forward to seeing you. Okay, Scott, do you have any poker rooms that opened up in that area yet?
The button's a little messed up, but Queen 9, the best hand. I would like. Just gonna go check. 5 gets Zachary a pair. Ice Queen really just content to try and make a hand or get to showdown. 5s and 10s is the best. See if he can get any value. I think the only value he's going to get out is if Ice Queen bets. I don't think she's... Is Ice Queen going to... Oh, Ice Queen makes the call with Queen high. 5-3. Juggernaut, good. Good for a little chips.
Texas sub, we are still playing for money up top. The players decided to ICM chop 3-handed. It was pretty close to even with basically 22, 23, and 24,000 and change. And each of the players put 2,000 in from their ICM cut to pay first place an additional 6K.
These are the numbers they settled on. So they're playing for a little bit of a price jump. Not the 34 that was originally up top, but 28 still a pretty good payday.
Yeah. 6K, you can buy a used car.
Not in today's market.
Not a great one.
Not a great one.
Not a great one.
I don't know if I want a $6,000 used car for. But I mean, a car's a car, so if you need it, you need it.
If you live in Houston, you definitely need it. This is a driving city.
Well, right, because I'm on Spotify. I can't even think.
These players have been playing a very long time. I believe at this point in time, it was probably around 2:30 in the morning. Yep. Yes, Texas sub. It's a $6,000 price difference, really. It's like 2,200 versus 27 and change for between second and first. Zach, imagine betting this flop. No lookup from King High.
Yeah, I think for us, we tend to be here late, so I think both of us, I dealt this final table for a little bit. You were still here as well, so we're used to the 2 a.m., 3 a.m., and beyond poker nights. But for a lot of tournament players with kids and jobs, it can be a struggle.
He was in California last I heard. It's been probably 3 or 4 years since I've heard from him.
Two raises to 1.2 million.
Curious to see what he's going to do with these 7s. It's just just a jam.
raised all in and tanked like 4 minutes and folded. He's like, I got 9 high. I was like, dang, alright. In 5 card, I was like, dang.
Ace King. This first time we've seen this hand's appearance heads up. Not a lot of Ace King, Ace Queens, Jack 9, severely outflopping. Ice Queen does not want to see a queen. A queen would be disastrous. Zach wisely checking back this board.
Any interest in leading this turn now?
With
check.
With Ice Queen, I would lead this turn.
She does.
No, Kirk is not the TD. He is a photographer for all of our events. He does the photography and the social media coverage.
Why?
I get a discount on time.
Yeah.
That's where all the action is.
Lucky no.
Y'all saw our TD earlier, Steven. There's another one of our floor/TDs. Okay, Scott, there will be a TCH live for this Friday. Our current plan for this Friday is to live stream the final table of the PLO event, the 25K guaranteed. So hopefully some of y'all can make that. At least I will be doing commentary for that. Maybe Shanice will be joining me in the booth. We don't quite know who is planned for what.
We're all hands on deck. So wherever Tim and Alan tell me they need me, I will be there.
2 calls, 3 million. 2 million.
We also do, I don't know, K Scott, if you'll be here Thursday or if you play PLO, but I believe we will have our
live stream on Thursday is still planned. Our 136 PLO game is still planned to happen on Thursday. So if you want to be on that, seat open. And then the final table for the main event, this $600 300K guarantee, will be streamed next Monday. I believe like 5 or 6 or 4 or something like, I don't know.
Yeah, sometime in the evening, around the same time that we started to show you guys this one today.
Should be an exciting one. Ice Queen ripping it. I like it. Max pressure. Very likely the best hand. So it'll be flights Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, a turbo Monday morning, day 2 Sunday afternoon, and then the final table Monday afternoon.
Rebel, I hope you sunrun. We want to see you out. Go get them at your local card room.
Yeah, the final flight is a turbo in the morning. It'll be like, I don't want to mistake
usually
y'all.
9 a.m. Usually 9 a.m. is the start for the turbo.
Ice Queen chipping up, showing the deuce, getting real friendly, showing cards, giving a little information away. Oh, there are 2 flights on Sunday. Oh, that's interesting. Get the schedule pulled up for y'all.
I don't know. I can't think of anything past this horse tournament tomorrow. I'm so excited. My one day off where I can splash around with you guys just a little bit. We've got our 08 tournament going on right now in the room, along with the green chip bounty and the table or two that we have left of the monster stack this morning.
Alright, it looks like Sunday.
Free call 600,000.
Oh, we do. Oh, I misspoke. The final table, day 2 is Monday. Huh. So day 2,
Raised to 2.5 million.
day 2 is Monday, and the live stream will be on Tuesday at 4 p.m. Okay,
Okay, so we have an extra day of day
extra
ones.
day of day ones.
Awesome.
Not our usual thing. Saturday, we have this the 2 title event flights, $600 entry. We also have a mega satellite, which is $95, which will give away at least 5 seats to the main event.
Raised 1.2 million.
Yeah, all the satellites for the main event seats are at 9 p.m. at night during the week, and they're $95, giving away at least 5 seats to the main event.
Yeah, we had the first one last night.
Zachary just flopping the joint,
3 checks.
which always feels good. Ice Cream's got an interesting card, the 5 of diamonds.
2 bets, 2
I'm
million.
definitely curious what is paired with it.
How does Zach want to play the nuts? Just a call. Pretty safe turn for him. Terrible run out.
Horrible river.
Board pair diamonds get there. Still not folding. Still want to try and get the showdown. Question is, where am I going to get the value from and from what hands?
Can he make this 5 of diamonds fold also?
Going to go for a little bit of value here.
Three bets. 5.7 million. 2 goes all in.
Ice Queen going all in. And this is a nightmare for Zach after having flopped the nuts. And he just put most of his chip stack in. He hasn't called yet, but I mean, this is not a great spot.
Very difficult decision.
Ice Queen, it's so hard for her to be bluffing here. She would have to be bluffing with a dry queen or the dry king of diamonds, which we don't know if she has. And if she has the king or queen of diamonds, she's got a flush. This is a big decision. He wants to call, but it's just going to be so hard for him to have the best hand. He makes the discipline laid out as I would imagine, a good fold. I don't think, knowing that Ice Queen had the 5 of diamonds, she didn't have another diamond to go with it there with that shove. Cause I don't think that was a bluff.
No. I think if it was only the 5 of diamonds, we would have seen a flat call.
Yeah, I don't know how he folds that either. I don't think it's a bluff, but I'm shocked that he folded that. I think it's a great fold. I just think it's unbelievable that he put that much of his stack in and then folded.
I think, yeah, I mean, I think the crux, the decision point was the bet size leading into the river. And if you were planning on potentially having to fold, maybe just going with a smaller sizing.
When he bets such a large amount, I don't know what he's trying to get value from for that amount. you really want to get called by like kings, queens, jacks, ace X, weak ace X, and those can't really call that big of a bet.
3 calls.
And now they're at the fun part of the game where it's who gets lucky. Ice queen needs an 8 or 5, and that's an 8. Dodge
Still a
hearts.
sweat though.
She wins this thing. Now it's a big sweat.
Oh my gosh.
Ice queen looking for the board to pair.
Or the deuce of spades.
Nope, that's a heart.
Fight on.
3 million. 3.1. 3 million.
100,000. Yeah. Tired. It was crazy.
And the game continues on.
It's like, man, getting juicier.
Never easy.
Probably should have been over the hand before. I still can't believe he heard that. No.
See, interested to see how Zachary plays this button now. Was very aggressive with a larger chip stack.
Always take a walk when the button folds.
Absolutely. Never a bad time for a walk. Do you look at your walked hands? Do you show the table?
No, because it doesn't matter.
I have to look.
Why?
I have to know what I had. I just have to know what I had. I flip it face up though. I show the whole table at the same time.
Oh, it just doesn't matter. So I don't look. Well, let me rephrase it. If I've all like I'll look. If I've already looked, then I'll show the table. But usually I wait to look at my hand. So if I haven't looked, I just
throw it away.
I used to look.
I'm still a rookie.
Walks don't happen very often down here, so. See if Zach can battle himself back to 10 mil. Needs to dodge a jack or a 10. Best hand gets a little bit better. Uh-oh.
Heart's still live.
Heart's not live. Zach's got those covered.
Well, that's what I mean for Zachary. They're live. Yeah.
Jesus Christ! Jesus Christ!
The battle rage is
She thought she had it.
I mean,
Jesus.
Jesus Christ!
5.9.
5.9.
Oh, okay.
I'll have Atlas pushing.
Listen, Michelle, you have to be perfect this time of the morning. To
Alright,
be
that's
the
my
dealer,
time.
it
Good luck,
has to be the live stream twice.
Yeah, I thought Matt was pushing you, no?
Now you got some chips.
Joe. Half of what you said was
And it is almost 3 o'clock in the morning.
It's over here, Joe. Joe. Right there.
Is this your room? Buttons right?
Yeah, Jim. Tell him, come on, Fox.
With a C. C-H.
Wait, no, Fox ticking.
love making this stuff. Running that beautiful beating footage.
Yeah, I'm waking
No,
up now.
no worries.
Well, adrenaline rush.
No, I'm just waking up. That time.
300, 600, 600.
Oh, back is killing me. Killing
Me too, that's
me.
what I've been trying to stretch out. That's the worst part. Now do that.
Oh, it's gonna be brutal. Recovery. Whoa!
Careful there.
This is gonna look really good on YouTube.
So is me shuffling on this side. Okay.
I'll be laughing at myself tomorrow. I'm telling you when I'm watching this, I'll be laughing.
I don't want to. I'll watch you. Checking it. Be my friend.
Oh, sorry. I got you.
I bet all the masseuse went home too.
They did indeed. Check. Bet 2 million.
Man, wasn't that bad like that was?
More middling. Just a couple pips high.
We go to the next story.
With a passion. The man says he's all in. C2 is all in. C1, C3 is all in. C2 is all out. Button.
Something like that. C2 survived with holding it straight earlier. Crazy. Crazy. Don't know if I'm gonna do that though. I know a lot beat you. Still, it's up.
6. Brave. 1.3. All in says C3. All out says C2. What's your favorite hand, Richard?
Huh?
What's your favorite hand?
My favorite hand?
Aces, I'll take it 3 times in a row right now.
You knew my favorite hand. 5-3. Like King 9 also.
King 9's a good hand.
Sexy.
C3 raises to 1.2. C2.
Lazily calls.
Check. C3 bets 800,000. No?
And Ice Queen running into it. See if Zach with the ace of diamonds.
He's got this hand wrapped up on the turn. Let's see if he can extract any value.
Seat 3 bit.
No more value. She's out.
Not that one. No sirree. No sirree.
Ace 7 with ace 9.
I had nothing.
I mean, heads up, that's a huge hand.
Check back.
Zach started to fight back. He was just down to like 3.5 million.
Yeah, looking
Trying to make it a
little bit more
fair,
realistic. Yeah.
trying to make it a fair fight. Both of these players have gone to the kind of to the extremes and battled their way back.
Dirty diaper one time.
Ice Queen just folds the dirty diaper on the button.
Hate this game.
Put it in the trash.
It's not a good hand. It's only a meme hand.
Meme hands are fun though.
How frustrated are
I
y'all?
don't know about you, but every time that I've seen people raise with the dirty diaper, it's not been very fun for them. So
That is true. Basically committing pre-flop to a triple barrel bluff.
I was like, here it comes.
flop 3-3 deuce or deuce deuce 3. What about ace 4-5? None of those. All right.
You can, yeah, I mean, you know. Every hand has its flop, but
Seat 3 calls.
Lots of 10 deuces tonight.
Seat 2 bluff.
we have seen the Doyle.
3 million.
Last hand. Is this level?
Blinds are going up after this hand.
What are you talking about?
It's still the dirty diaper though. Like all the flops you want involve 4-5,
See
realistically.
us moving in slow motion here?
King 4-5, 6-4-5, so you can get cooler by 7-8.
Yeah. I know in PLO I don't think I've ever won a hand with a wheel. They always have the 6-0.
Do it on the microphone. Do it on
Every
the
time I
microphone.
win the hand with the wheel in PLO, it's because the ace is on the board, not my hand.
Yes, that is true. That is a
Look it over.
factor.
3 6. Call the 6.
Both players flop a pair, so both players put a little bit more in.
Yes, sir. Understood.
Got another blind level going up.
I believe it'll be 488, 400,000, 800,000, 800,000.
It's gonna make this really fun.
Check it in.
Queen is best still.
Seat 3 check. Button's right. Seat 3.
What a battle. What a battle it's been.
Yeah.
Blinds going up this hand leaves Zach with
How many times
20
we
big
say
blinds.
are up and I'm still trying to.
The blinds are
Ice Queen started the heads up battle short. Went on a run of hands. And had Zachary at risk twice.
Couldn't quite close out the job. Some sweaty all ins though.
Yep, a little back and forth. I'm ahead, you're ahead.
Seat 3 calls.
Zach really working in more limps, and Ice Queen with this raise is very aware of that. The King 7 made her very aware of that. It's just Dolly Parton not gonna cut it.
Yeah, we've seen Zachary be pretty aggressive on the button.
with his strong hands, yeah.
Yeah, so not believing the limp there.
Yeah, like, oh, watching.
If he does wind up trapping with aces, he'll have set it up perfectly.
That is true. He's got the setup.
Do you like the green chips? Do you like the green. Dirty diaper again. Dirty diaper.
Just folding the diaper like that.
Crushing your dreams one at a time. I told you it'd be hilarious.
How are you?
What's up, man? Yeah. I mean, I'm trying to be
I
excited.
mean, Rebel, that's a pretty good sun run. 40 into 700.
Hey, to go. Raise it up, 1.6.
Ace Jack, a welcome sight.
Fold, C2 fold.
Waste.
See that finesse in that fold? See that finesse? Yeah?
Very nice fold.
I imagine the way these two are playing right now, it's going to take a real collision of hands.
Whole goal life.
Lucky me.
Top pair versus top pair type thing, or top pair versus over pair. For some real chips to start getting into the middle, big draws. They're playing very safe post flop. Now, and I guess I kind of got this one into existence, or wish this one into existence. Ice Queen with 10s on the button. Real happy to see this hand. 2 million is the price.
It has been raised to 2 million.
Zach with an ace now in a spot. Rips it. Oh, and a call. All in a call.
Do you like the jam there with the ace deuce, or?
I like it better than a call. Very surprised though. As now Ice Queen gonna win the tournament
My bad, guys.
if she fades an ace. Straight's gonna seal it up 10 to chop and 10 alone.
Really close.
And that will be it. I think
Just double checking the count.
We're super close.
Dotting I's and
I
crossing
think
T's.
the chip counts were wrong and Ice Queen had the stacks were closer. Oh, I don't think it's over. I think he has.
Wow, so Zachary actually maybe covered Ice Queen.
I think Zach had Ice Queen covered and the chip counts were wrong. Appreciate that, K Scott, but I think we have a little bit more. I think there's a chip in a chair type scenario here.
Don't put on us just yet.
I'm curious as to what he's left with.
I'm on 100,000.
Oh, he has actual 100,000.
Wow, so we're gonna have an all-in in the blind here.
So player is all in the blind.
Chip in a chair, like you said, not impossible. The latest tournament win I had, I was all in the big blind.
How about you?
5-handed and came back to win. So
This would be oh, he has 400K. Okay. So here's
400.
Face up. You're kidding, right?
They are kidding. Down, they got it.
Player said they just wanted their cards face up, no waiting.
Jack 9.
Yeah, don't forget that.
9-4, baby.
Okay.
Oh, it's suited.
You need 4 or spades.
Yep, she's right. She needs 4 spades. That's a jack in the window. Uh-oh. Jack takes it double up to 1.6 million for Zach.
Well, leaves him some outs.
He is all in this hand.
We're player friendly here at TCH, so he will be able to satisfy the big blind before he has to pay the ante. So
Well, he had even amount.
oh, he had even amount, so it's all even.
8-8.
Oh my gosh, what a sweat for Zachary, just trying to stay alive here.
I mean, I would have flicked in the call without even looking at my cards. Yeah.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. You
This
just have
doesn't matter.
to.
My favorite hand in Zach's hands. Let's see if it'll do him any justice.
I like your hand.
That is the DT hand.
That is versus the 9-3 off. The dreaded 12 in blackjack. That's a 9. Diamonds and straight draws faded. And now we have it. Ice Queen will win. Good job, everybody. Zach will be getting second place for $22,335. Ice Queen getting first place for $27,950. Well played by everybody in the tournament.
Well.
Congratulations. We will see y'all later. It was a great stream. Nice final table. Any parting words?
Definitely had fun. Congratulations again to Ice Queen and really all the players that made our final table. What a great tournament, great value. We are so excited to see what happens again this week. We have our 300K main event, so you guys come on out. We'll see you then.